My hummus business is a cover for my Josh body pillow business. Don't tell anyone. Well, I wasn't going to tell anyone, but if you fill a body pillow with hummus... How did my life get to this bit? Like, I went to university. What series of decisions did I make that led to me playing a 15-year-old Star Wars game on stream, which allowed me to say, in context, if you fill a body pillow with hummus? There's a lot of decisions. Like, if you were to go backwards, and why is there a load of troopers dancing? Why is there a guy that looks like he's out of Treasure Planet just hanging around? You know what? I'm not going to question the Star Wars community. You know? I'm not gonna do it. This is the good timeline. It is, isn't it? It's just the way. This is how it is. This is just how things have happened. Don't question it. It's best not to. Oh, good. The nipple cannons are there as well.
Hey Josh, first time Twitch viewer, love the YouTube content, thank you very much. Nominate Black Desert for the worst MMO, it's on the list. As someone with 12,000 hours into it, I would love to see your opinions. Renard, are you okay? I don't think I've got 12,000 hours in anything, and I'm 35. Like, I'll give up anything after about 100. 12... You are the exact kind of player that scares me. Because I'll play the game for like 20 hours and I'll say, yeah, it's good, but it doesn't do this. And then someone with 12,000 hours will come in and go, actually, if you would have played 10,000 hours 5 years ago and completed this really specific random obtuse event, you'll find that it does have that system, provided it's a Tuesday and the moon is waning. And I'll be like, yeah, I didn't get to that. That's true. Maybe I should have played for longer. But if you want to, if you've enjoyed it, great. I will review it, but I'm scared. Just so you know. The game, did it get good? Did Black Desert get good after 12,000 hours? I need to know.
Why no Lost Ark? Lost Ark killed my parents. I'm sorry, I can't deal with it. I can't. It's too emotionally painful right now. Anytime someone asks me why Lost Ark, can we just make up a different reason? Lost Ark doesn't run on my computer. Apparently it wasn't set up for Windows 98. Am I Batman? No. No, it's just same backstory, but I wasn't a billionaire. That's the problem. Lost Ark killed Terra.
Just upload the winning run and claim it was the first one. Yeah, no one will be suspicious when I'm like, yeah, here's the winning run, John Balder the 32nd. This is Jane Balder, a fighter gnome illusionist. We go and grab Hull's sword from just here, along with the antidote that Nessa needs, and then we take these back to Hull. Josh, you madman, you can't spend what's left of your sanity on such crusades. I will finish Baldur's Gate 1 without dying. It's very important to remember, other characters can die. Side characters, they die straight away. There was an entire run where we took both Khalid and Jaheira died immediately, which was really sad because we like Jaheira. So we put the belt of gender swapping on Khalid and just pretended he was Jaheira. That worked. That emotionally sustained me. That brought us all back. I think we can all agree that was a great idea. That's the kind of vibes that we're going for in this run. Just so you understand, I have literally taken party members just to throw them onto traps and have them die. That's happened. And will continue to happen. Hang on, no, I'm going to address this. Dwyla, hang on. Dilwa in chat with all caps, so you know it's serious. You know they're shouting when they type this. Types, woke game. Yeah, because, you know, when I was playing one of the classic Dungeons & Dragons medieval fantasy adventures where you're actually the illegitimate child of the god of murder running away from your brother who's attempting to kill all of the other children so they can ascend to the god, the first thing I thought was, oh, it's so woke. I don't think anyone's ever thought that about Baldur's Gate. I don't think anyone has ever gone, you know what this game needs less of? This game that's literally about the political machinations between the arm of the South wanting to prepare for war with Baldur's Gate, which Sarevok is effectively exacerbating by taking his place within the Iron Throne and facilitating the iron shortage within Nashkel, which is allowing the Lords of Baldur's Gate and the Lords of Waterdeep to vote him in as a Great Lord, which will give him command of the garrison simply so he's able to facilitate more death and create blood flow and make the god of murder Baal happy. I've thought, this needs less politics. This game about political machinations needs less of that. You need the sleep spell for it to be woke. That's true. I've got the sleep spell. Maybe this game is woke now.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you have just joined us, thank you very much if you are a new follower, and I've seen a lot of people that have subscribed. I hope that I can continue to be entertaining for many years to come. Thank you very much for that. And if you just come over from YouTube, if you're a Star Wars fan and I upset you, if you're a Star Wars fan and you're a Jedi and I upset you, you have to forgive me. That's part of the Jedi Code. And if you're a Star Wars fan and you're a Sith and I upset you, you don't get bothered by trivial things like what some random YouTuber and streamer says. So no matter which side of the kind of binary you fall on with that, you can't be angry. You can't be. It's not allowed. Not going to work. You didn't wave your hand. Ah, shit. That's how Jedi magic works, isn't it?
Patrolling the Mojave almost makes you wish for a nuclear winter.
It doesn't. The nuclear winter will be much, much worse than all of this. Ah! You're pretty ambassador.
I see you received my message. Good, good. I had something important to discuss with you.
I'm listening.
I'm sure you've noticed that things are a little tense around here with all the issues between the NCR, the Legion, and Mr. House. It doesn't take a genius to see that something big is going to happen soon. To be honest with you, the NCR is in a tight spot. But if we fail now, it's the people here that are going to suffer the most. I'm not willing to let that happen, and I don't think you're the kind of person that would either.
You have my attention. Go on.
To the northeast is a settlement. The locals here call them boomers. They are sitting on a munitions stockpile that would be invaluable to us. I would like you to get in contact with them, and then do whatever it takes to convince them to help us. Unfortunately, the boomers keep to themselves and are, let's say, hostile to all outsiders. That's why I need someone like you. Someone with your background and reputation would have a better chance of reaching them than anyone I have available. In exchange for your help, you would receive complete amnesty for any past crimes against the NCR, as well as additional benefits and perks. Do you think you would be able to do this for me?
I've heard of these boomers before. One of them told me that I'd be able to afford a house if I stopped eating avocado toast and canceled my Netflix subscription. That has not yet happened. One of them told me to just pull myself up by my bootstraps, and when I tried to explain to them, the actual complete saying was, it is no more possible to sit on a chair and lift yourself than it is to pull yourself up by your bootstraps, with the entire saying being, it is actually impossible to gain a benefit through doing this, and you require somebody's help. They didn't listen to that at all. They just kept telling me that they were able to afford a house and a car by only working a part-time summer job, and if I want a job, maybe I should just walk in there with my printed-out CV, give the manager a firm handshake, and not leave until I get a job offer. Turns out, none of that shit works anymore. So yeah, I'll find some boomers, and I'll talk to them, but I swear to God, if they are in a homeowners association, I am leaving.
Much appreciated. Once you've talked to them, come back and let me know if they will help us.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Right, let's go and talk to the boomers. President. I see. President Chin. I love him already. Right, let's go and chat to the boomers. They're going to tell us it was better back in their day. Oh my god, I bet they're going to want to speak to the manager. So, OSRS is still overwhelmingly more active and popular than RuneScape 3. Yes, without a doubt. Without a doubt. That's not to say that... I think what it is... Players don't stop playing a game if it's not good enough. Players stop playing a game if there is a single moment in that game that makes them say, I don't know what to do, I'm not enjoying this is overwhelming, I feel like this is too complicated, I feel like this is not worth my time, I feel like this has become pay to win. Players stop playing games because they are presented with what I refer to as a quit moment, and it succeeds. It makes them quit. Old school RuneScape has very few quit moments. It may not be the greatest MMO in the world, but it has very few quit moments. This is why I often say that World of Warcraft is phenomenally well designed, because it has so few quit moments. RuneScape 3 has so many. It's not a bad game, it's a badly designed early to mid-game experience. That's what it is.
I'm a little bit of a rebel when it comes to making D&D characters. I like to go against the grain. I like to do something different. I like to throw out some crazy, zany ideas. So we're going to go with a male fighter. Possibly even a human. Is the other mage still alive? Yes. Well, that did nothing. Worry not, Nira, for I will simply stab him. Nira, I have been knocked out unconscious.
What is it this time?
And you are dead. Well, it was a good run.
Yes, I shall attempt.
And that's where we end the run. That's what happened. John Balder was killed when he attempted. What we have learned is never ever help a woman. You'll die.
When I watched Avatar, people clapped at the end of the movie. You know what? That to me is a very American thing. Like, English people tend not to do that. I think in a lot of kind of European countries, that's really weird to us. We don't like the idea of clapping at the end of a movie. Like, we don't like the idea of expressing any kind of emotion ever. So once a film is finished, you'll just get... What you'll do is, everyone will sit quietly until the credits have rolled and finished, because Marvel has taught us all to do that. And then the credits will finish, and the lights will slowly fade back on in the cinema. And everyone in England will kind of collectively do this one thing where they kind of go, right. Then they stand up, gather their coats, take their rubbish out to the bin, put it in the bin, and then go away. If you don't throw your rubbish away at the end of the film, if you leave your rubbish in the cinema for people to turn up, leave the stream now, because you're not welcome here. I really angered my partner a few days ago because I bought some bedding and I thought I was being adult. I thought I was being grown up and I thought I was helping. I thought, you know, hey, this is good. This is good. I know what I'm doing. I'm ready. And then they were out. And so what I did, I took the time to put the bedding on the bed, so when they came back, the bedding would be on the bed. And they didn't seem too happy, but I was pretty happy with it. I love Christmas so much. Now some of you will be saying, oh, but it's only... Look, it says Merry Christmas. Now some of you will be saying, oh, but it's only October. Okay? Shut up. October is pre-Christmas. Everyone knows this. People are always like, oh, but you've got to wait for Halloween. No. No. I respect Halloween. I love Halloween. Don't get me wrong. But at some point, we need to admit that Halloween is just getting in the way of another month of Christmas. It could very much just be another month of Christmas. We could do that. We can make that happen. I will fight you over this one, Josh. Look, I'm going to lose viewers for this. I know I am. I understand that. I've got a lot of friends that love Halloween. They love the spooky season. They think that it's really fun, and it is. The one thing that sucks about Halloween is that it's so close to Christmas. And some of you will be saying, it's 3 months away. Chill. Look, let's just agree that for 3 months we can have the best food. We can have the best music. I swear to God, as soon as YouTube lets me play music all of December, it's going to be Wham's Last Christmas on repeat. That's the only song I'm going to play. I don't care how many copyright strikes I'm going to get. It's going to be worth it. Actually, it was quite funny because last Christmas I did give you my heart, but the very next day you gave it away. October the 11th, it started. People are like, no, 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 unsubbed, left, reported to Jagex. I mean, Jagex aren't involved. I just assume that you report people to them whenever they do something that makes you unhappy. If someone ever makes you unhappy, report them to Jagex. In any situation in the world. Even better if RuneScape aren't involved. Any plans to play Lost Ark? Look, everyone else is playing Lost Ark. I'll get to it eventually. Alright? Everyone's playing Lost Ark. Everyone's like, oh, what's your opinion? My opinion is it's probably fine. It's probably fine. It'll probably do really well. It'll probably, attract a load of players, and then it'll probably fall into its hardcore. The problem with any new MMORPG releasing is because there are so many MMOs, there is no one definite best. So back in ye olde times of yore, when there was one definite best MMO, everyone would just say, oh, every other game apart from this one is dead. So what we need to say this time is all of them are probably alive to different degrees. People will play Lost Ark because it's new and shiny. Some people will stay. Some people will move on and play the next game whenever that releases, whatever that is. It will find a hardcore of players. It will maintain that hardcore of players. And then other people who are looking for the perfect MMO will move on whenever a new one comes out. Just as we've seen with every single MMO release ever. A new one will release. People will play it. Some people will like it enough to stay there. Some people will not like it enough to stay there. And then we will have another MMO release. And the whole cycle continues again. Right, so I will stream fishing on old school RuneScape, fishing on RuneScape 3, fishing in Final Fantasy XIV, fishing in Elder Scrolls Online, fishing in Warframe, and fishing in Guild Wars 2. I will find a way to just fish in every MMORPG I can. I will just call the stream fishing. And all we will do is fish. You can't fish in Guild Wars 2. Well, Guild Wars 2 is out.
Figured we would bring in today the resident money spender, Quinn69, and also JoshStrifeHayes. Welcome, guys.
Dude, what are you talking about? That's Rich Campbell. You talking about Rich Campbell? You talking about me right now?
How much have you? All right. Which one of you spent more money?
I think it's somewhere around like 13,000 USD, maybe.
Oh, wait, that's it?
Yeah, it's not really that bad. It's actually, people are hyping it up like it's a huge thing, but actually, it's,
Josh, how much have you spent?
I've spent nothing. I'm just excited to be on the main monitor. This is a new experience for me.
Yeah, I know. Usually
people have dragged it from the second to the main, and I'm looking forward to seeing what we can talk about and how we can do this. Now, I've managed to be completely free to play, which is probably why I stopped at level 50 and moved over to Path of Exile, but I did have a good time. I enjoyed it. I thought the gameplay was decent, and I'm looking forward to talking about the design of it.
I've noticed in your worst MMOs, you always play a human male warrior or the equivalent. Is there a methodological reason for this? Am I a basic bitch? Well, first of all, yes, of course I'm a basic bitch, but secondly, so what I actually do, sometimes I play non-human male warriors off stream and off video just to see what they're like, but I often think that if a game, almost like a good pizzeria, and I've said this before, if a good pizzeria can make a good margarita, they can normally make a good anything else. Practicing the basics and getting the basics down is one of the best ways to show what you are capable of doing. So yes, a human male warrior is one of the most basic things you can do. Normally they'll get the animations correct. Normally it will be easier. It's very hard to get the human male warrior wrong. If they can do that correctly, I will be happy.
You know what? Let's sort this out. What is the greatest video game I've ever played? It's strange because it's not even a game that I've played that much. It's just a game that I played and it changed how I saw video games. And I've said this before, and there's a clip of this already, but it really truly was Legacy of Kain, Soul Reaver. And the reason it changed how I saw video games was because I knew, after I finished Legacy of Kain, Soul Reaver, I knew that games were art. I knew that voice acting mattered. I knew that story mattered. I knew there was a good way to do introduction of mechanics. Because you're playing Soul Reaver. Okay? It's so well written. It's so well designed. You're playing Soul Reaver, you get told you can jump, you need to jump to get over this gap. You get told you can fight, you got to fight to get past these vampires. Then you got to jump and fight. Brilliant, okay, just progression of mechanics. Then you get the ability to phase through walls. Then you go back to where you've been before and phase through a wall. Then you get the ability to do this and go back to where you've been and do this. And it's all about getting the ability to do something and then going back to where you were before and using that ability to advance. It is so good. It is so well paced. I love that. I'd ask for Soul Reaver 2, but it's horrible on PC. Do you know what? Let me show a box that I've got next to my... that I keep here all the time. Soul Reaver 2. PC box. I bought this probably from like Game, back when Game sold PC games in boxes. And the reason I bought this was because I wanted to play it. And then it turns out it's terrible on PC. It's really hard to run on PC. It's harder to run on PlayStation emulation. But the reason I bought that and I have it next to me is to remind me to play it and to remind me that just because a game comes out on PC doesn't mean it's good. It's very difficult. Hey Josh, I have an idea for an MMO. Oh man, if I had £1 for every time I heard someone say that, I would probably have enough to fund an MMO. Everyone that has an idea for an MMO also has an idea for an epic trilogy novel series and a massive film and a new sport. That's what it is. Everyone has an idea. When people come up to me and say, hey Josh, I've got an idea for an MMO, imagine what it would be like walking up to the head of FIFA and saying, hey, I've got an idea for a new sport. All right, it's football, but like with 3 footballs on the field at any one time, and 3 teams, and fireworks happen at half time while the game is still playing. And I'm thinking, you haven't really thought this through, have you? I will share with you a tidbit of information. I was in London doing a theatre play when Game of Thrones was in season 2 or 3, and I looked a lot like Robb Stark from Game of Thrones. And I was in pubs and clubs in London, and a lot of people were coming up to me and going, oh my god, are you Robb Stark? And I thought, the more they look, the more they'll realise they're wrong. But I could probably get a drink out of this. So I went, no, I'm his stunt double. And they went, oh my god, can we get a picture? You know, what scenes are you in? What scenes are you in? And I thought, you know that scene where he's riding on the horse but you can't see his face? Yeah, that's me. And they were like, oh my god, you're really famous. Had they have known, probably wouldn't have, you know, carried on talking to me. You know what the irony is? Do you know what the genuine irony of this is? There are some random drunk people out there with pictures of me on their phones, kind of like, you know, arm around them, hugging them, smiling, doing a thumbs up or whatever, and them being like, the North remembers, back when I was a random nobody. And if someone else looked through their phone now, they'd be like, when did you meet JoshStrifeHayes on a night out? And they'd be like, who the fuck is JoshStrifeHayes? And they'll look and go, I don't know who that is. That's what I like. That's what I think will happen. Someone will be watching this. There's probably at least one person who's going to watch this, either the video or the clip that goes on the Sayes channel, who'll be there going, that son of a bitch. Is this my first time playing? I think in many ways it's all of our first time playing. No, I've played Factorio a lot, but that does not mean I'm good at it. I have played Factorio a great deal, and yet I am still not good at Factorio. No one's really good at Factorio. So you're not second monitor content. I'm split screen. Oh, I'll take split screen content. I want to level up from second monitor content to like phone content. That's what would make me happy. Like if you guys go to the, you go to the bathroom, you're thinking, I'll best bring my phone. What should I put on? I'm going to be honest. You're probably not going to put on a 1-hour retro review, unless that's how much time you spend in the bathroom, in which case, go for it. You're probably going to put on like a 3 or 4 minute thing, a 5 or 6 minute thing. Bit of music, a little bit silly thing. I'm just going to scroll through until something starts auto-playing. People have said to me, oh Josh, you must hate that YouTube autoplay feature, because now whatever video is at the top of your screen just starts auto-playing. And I'm thinking, I think it's great. I think it's brilliant, because I don't even need to click anymore. One step closer to laziness. Beautiful to me. Absolutely beautiful to me. Just scroll it through. There we go. Done. You guys aren't watching me, you're watching clips of me. I know that. That's going to be a clip right there. Like 20 seconds. I know the reality of my existence now. All of my life is given meaning through Visa. That's how it works. Yes, you're watching this on your phone now as you piss. #art. Thank you, Radical. Thank you. You used to play OSRS. How are you not efficient? If you want to kill your love for a game, become efficient at it. That is unfortunately true. If you want to kill your love for a game, if you want to suddenly start to hate your hobby, become really efficient at it. I've found that I actually enjoy things much more when I'm being less efficient. If you're super efficient, you're finding the quickest possible way to finish the game. And if you like the game, why wouldn't you want to spend more time in the game? See, I like this game, so I'm going to spend more time in the game. So I'm going to play the game bad, which makes the game last longer, because I enjoy the process of playing the game. And you may hate me, but I speak the truth. You put into words why I always optimize the fun out of games. That was a famous line, I think, said by the guy that created, was it SimCity? Players will optimize the fun out of a game. Now, the process of finding something optimal can be fun. The process of working out what works and why it works, that is in itself a fun process. But notice how I said the process of finding what works. And if you just tell someone what works, that's not part of the process. That's you just saying, hey, I've already done the process. I've already gone through all of this. Here's what you should be doing. That's why it's often a little bit boring. Was it fun when you optimized the life out of Terra? Remarkably so. It was actually part of a ritual. I was trying to use Terra's life force to revive Otherland. That was my original plan. But it didn't work.
I actually spoke to Chris Wilson before. I've done an interview with him on my main channel. There is a series I made called Devlog, where I spoke to Chris Wilson for about 2 hours. He gave me loads of his time to chat for ages about the development and the design of Path of Exile, and he was a really nice guy. In fact, I'll share something with you, and I'm sharing this because I believe this shows a genuine passion and love for the project that Chris has created over most of his life and why he wants to make such a good game. I actually got a message on Discord, because I've chatted to him before, from Chris earlier today. And let me just see if I can bring this up and find it specifically. I'll let you know what it says. It just says, "Hey Josh, heard you were lined up to co-stream ExileCon. That's awesome. Really glad you can be involved. If you want to make video content later, let me know and I'll get you any assets we could provide. My understanding is this is not part of the obligation, so no pressure, but if you do anything, we'll try and help you out with that. Hope you're well." CEOs don't do that, man. Developers don't do that. People that love their product do that. And I don't want to just sit here and simp and shill, because ultimately it's always about putting the audience, the player, the consumer first. You guys, I'm a gamer, you're a gamer, and from what I can tell, Chris is a massive, massive gamer as well. In fact about Chris Wilson, he has one of every single Magic the Gathering card, so personally jealous about that. But one of the very, very few reasons that I've got a lot of time for Chris is simply because he doesn't act like a CEO. He acts like a guy that plays and makes games.
Could you say anything to me? So I feel we get a conversation and I can sleep well tonight with a massive boner. Yeah, I can. Mac, here's my advice, okay? If it lasts more than 4 hours, go to the doctor's and have him high-five you. That's when you know you found something that you are really into. You'll be like, it's still there. He'll be like, hey, and you'll be like, hey, and then you go home. What if you have a female doctor? Don't be silly. As we saw in one of the latest worst MMO ever episodes, a woman can't hold that much medical knowledge in her brain. Never been done. Never been. I mean, it's been attempted. They put a lot of women in medical school, but you need to forget information to learn information, and they couldn't forget all of the cooking and the cleaning. They couldn't. Physically impossible to do. Gender-locked classes. Is it IRL gender locking?
Jane Balder. Right, 14th, which is XIV, I think. Jane Balder the 14th. Accept. Improved. Go. Skip. I don't think we need anything from Candlekeep. There is nothing in Candlekeep that is going to be useful to us in literally any way. So we just leave. You can get the +1 dagger in Candlekeep as you have the charisma. Won't need the +1 dagger. I'm going to sell everything and get the poison dagger. And I don't know what armor I can or can't use. Let's leave. We're going to get the poison dagger as fast as possible by going south to High Hedge, north, back to where we were. We've been ambushed. Run. As long as we know. And so ends the legend of Jane Balder XIV, ambushed by 8 skeletons and a ghoul as she was attempting to leave the opening map. She got hit by several throwing daggers and immediately took 8 damage and died. She was alive in the world for approximately 3.5 minutes. And that's including character creation. She died how she lived. Very quickly.
Josh, may I say, you're looking very handsome. Super Soaker, you may say that. And I will be flattered and I will say thank you. And I will say that I can't see you, but I bet if I could, you'd be really attractive. Because studies have been done. And studies have shown that viewers of this stream are objectively better looking than the average population. It's true. 100% true. It's been proven. I proved it. Okay, I'm off then. Yes, unfortunately that does mean that we need to keep up the attractive level of this stream. So it's a horrible, horrible thing, but you know, we need to be... It's very exclusive. It's very exclusive, this stream. If you're not attractive, you're not allowed here. Try it right now. Try typing. If you are attractive, it will let you. If you aren't, your message won't even go through. See? Someone. Ban ugly viewers. I do. I do. Every single ugly human being in the world is banned on this stream. You know how many people are banned? 0. Because you're all beautiful. You know you are. Everyone ugly is already banned. No one's banned. Right, everyone stop being so wholesome. Look at this. Look at this crucified corpse.
What makes PoE so addicting to me? Visa, are you just fishing for clips now? Are you just thinking, I'll say something, and Josh will reply, and then I will be fed? I know what you're doing. You're just fishing for clips. I'm not going to give you the satisfaction. I mean, I'll answer the question, but I want to make it clear that I'm answering for me, not for you. Fishing, mostly. That's why I play it. I think it's one of the MMOs that does fishing correctly. I like Diablo. I like the gameplay of Diablo. I like the idea of Diablo. I don't like what Blizzard have done with Diablo, but I think the action RPG or the ARPG, the bird's eye view, top down, build your character, and then go and do a lot of attacks, is satisfying. And when you look at the... this is a real thematic issue. It's not a gameplay problem. But Diablo starts with you being in a city and diving down into the earth. You are always the hero in Diablo. Whereas Path of Exile starts with you being a complete loser who is effectively cast down and everything else is going on around you and you aren't involved in stuff, and then you have to actively fight your way through to be worth a damn. So I quite like the fact that it's one of those starting from the bottom, fighting up processes, which I just enjoy thematically more. I like the variety of builds, and again, this isn't an advert. I'm not sponsored by the guys. I just enjoy playing it because it's easy to understand, to get into, and the vast majority of systems are satisfying to use. I suppose that's what it is, satisfying. If someone says, hey, do you want to summon a zombie to help you? Yeah. Do you want to summon 10? Yeah. Do you want to throw a flaming skull at the enemy? Yeah, sounds cool. Do you want to throw 20? Okay, yeah. It's just a lot of decent systems with high numbers. Graphically it looks nice, sounds nice, mechanically it works. And again, as silly as this sounds, I can turn the game on and be in gameplay within 30 seconds. Which is a thing for me. If I've not got a hell of a lot of free time, I like knowing that I can turn the game on and be in the game bit quite quickly. Would I ever put WoW on the worst MMO ever series? If I ever need a lot of money very quickly, yes. Because I'm sure that will get a lot of views. But until then, No, because I believe that there are games that are legitimately worse. So remember that the series is about exploring the landscape of MMOs, discovering the interesting ones that might be good, might be bad, and then working out what's good and bad about them. And everyone's like, oh, you should do WoW, it's the worst MMO. It's legitimately not. We all know that. It's made some choices that have changed the genre. It's made some choices that have improved the genre, some that have, you know, pushed it back a bit. But there's no doubt that it's changed the genre.
I've been invited by my old university at some point to go back and give a little presentation about YouTube, about Twitch, about working. Here's the biggest advice that I could give to people. I want you to fail at something. I don't want you to quit. People always look at me and go, you want me to stop? No, I don't. I don't want you to quit. I want you to fail. And then I want you to find something else and try that. And then find something else and try that. And then find something else and try that. And I want you to fail so many times that you forget how many times you failed. Because eventually, you'll succeed. So I want you to fail. I don't want you to quit. I want you to fail. Because when you've failed, you learn so much more than success. When you succeed, you learn the one thing to do, which means if you follow that, all you have to do is repeat that same thing forever, which gets boring and dull. When you fail, you learn what not to do, which can be applied in so many situations. If you learn what not to do enough, you will eventually work out what to do. If you work out what not to do enough times, eventually you will work out what to do, and you'll be able to transfer this skill over to something else. So please, try to do something, fail. Try again, fail again, try again, fail again. Because by the time you succeed, and this is a really important factor, by the time you succeed and you realise you are successful and you keep doing something, you won't care what anyone else has to say. By the time you're actually successful, you won't have the time to listen to people telling you what to do. By the time you get to a point where you are at a successful stage and it's moving along and it's progressing and it's growing, and other people will come along to you constantly, hey, you should do this, hey, have you tried doing that, hey, have you thought about doing this? You won't have time to listen to them because you will be too busy succeeding. When I was 25, I got fired from a job. When I was 27, I was unemployed. People look and go, you must have always succeeded. No, not at all. I just found enough ways to fail that now I don't need to worry too much. How old am I? 31. I hate that. There's a 3 at the start of my age. I'm not happy with this talk. Need at least 64 gig for this game. You do. I'm quick saving after every single fight because I know the game's going to crash a lot. So this whole playthrough is going to be crashing the game. Okay? You have to install the memory. No, you don't. You just leave it next. What do you mean you need to install the memory? I thought you just leave it next to your computer. You don't put it in. You just put it near it. I mean, I don't need to download more RAM. I've got the RAM. The RAM's here. You know. The RAM's all there. I've got everything I need. What else do I need to do?
Just check and make sure none of you guys are going to get angry. Are you going to be annoyed if I play this on easy mode? Oh, my goodness. I didn't realize that the Dragon Age fans would get quite so angry about that. Oh, beautiful. It was amazing. I'll fill you all in on everything that has happened over the last 24 hours, actually. I've got some very creative private messages that were sent. It was beautiful. So, I put out a video yesterday called Was It Good? Dragon Age Origins, where I replayed the RPG Dragon Age Origins to answer the simple question, is it any good? The answer is, yeah, it's really good. Oh, I need a haircut, wow. The answer is, yeah, it's really good. It's a very solid game. There's flaws with it. There's some narrative flaws. There's some mechanical flaws. But in general, solid experience, very well made, slightly janky bit of software. But in general, very good, very competent game. However, halfway through the gameplay session, I turned the difficulty down to easy because I was struggling on some of the fights. Now, this might have been my fault, the fact that I had a party of 4 mages. It's not really meta, but I wanted to see if it could work. I had 4 arcane mages. Each of them were equipped with a big hammer. We were doing the unga. We were doing some of the bunga. There was some magical enchantment going on. It was great. I had a good time. But I turned it down to easy. The amount of messages that I've got from people berating me, calling me names that I didn't even know existed, about the fact that I am a casual, try-hard scrub, a tourist, don't deserve any of the game playing experience that I've got because I wasn't able to finish the game on hard mode. It gave me pause for thought. And part of me does understand. Part of me thinks, you know what? Yeah, I get it. If you play video games on hard mode, you need to engage with the mechanics. You need to understand how the game works. You need to manipulate the systems in your favor. Maybe you will get a greater challenge. Maybe you'll feel a greater sense of reward from doing it. But another part of me thinks like this. We're not all in college anymore. We're not all in uni if you went to university. We're not kids with a hell of a lot of free time anymore. Playing video games is a hobby. It's a great hobby. I'm lucky enough for it to be my job, although I'm aware that I'm in the minority there. Hobby should be fun, and here's a very important thing. A hobby should be one of potentially many hobbies that you have. It's fine to have a varied lifestyle and a varied life set. Your sense of self-worth should not come from how good at video games you are. If you are very good at video games, it's fine to be proud of that. That's absolutely fine. It is totally okay to be proud of the fact that you have beaten a hard video game. That's fine. I'm proud of the video game. I've beat Baldur's Gate 1 solo. That's fine. I'm proud of doing that, but this is the very important distinction you have to make. Your pride in what you've achieved does not become your self-worth, and you definitely don't then use that to berate others. If you want to play Path of Exile for 10,000 hours, that's fine. You can be proud of that. But don't then take that as an element of your self-worth and use that to validate how important you are or aren't. Video games are ultimately a relaxing hobby that we all go through. So when I was playing the game and I thought, you know what, I'm going to turn this to easy mode and see if my team will work, and they did, the amount of messages that I've got saying, hey, you didn't finish the game, you shouldn't have done that, I disagree with that, because all of those commenters were essentially placing their self-worth within the fact that they'd finished a hard video game. And to me, consider this, I could, with enough time, finish every single game I play on hard mode. I could do that if you wanted me to. However, there are other things in my life that I also want to do. Eat healthy, go to the gym, play Magic the Gathering, play some Warhammer, see some friends and family, go outside for a walk, read a book, play other games. Beyblade, of course, get a haircut. Yeah, get a haircut is the big one that we should be doing right now. Look at that, that's ridiculous. Look like a tennis ball. So I have to kind of weigh up, how much time am I willing to commit to playing a hard video game, knowing that completing the hard mode of that game is going to take time away from other things? That's the question you have to admit. If you want to play a really hard video game, that's fine. I'm not saying that's wrong at all. I'm saying that if other people choose to prioritize time elsewhere, but they still want to experience the game in an easier difficulty, that doesn't take away from your self-worth, and you don't have the right to have it take away from their self-worth. I've finished Devil May Cry in Dante Must Die mode. It doesn't make me any better of a person than you. So that, unfortunately, is what happened. Genuinely, what happened was I got so many messages from people basically berating me for being a scrub at the game. And when I was playing it, I was kind of thinking, okay, I'm going to stop now because I'm going to go and see my dogs. My dogs are cool. I'm going to hang out with them. I'm going to go and hit the gym for a bit. I'm going to go and read a book. I'm going to go and watch a bit of TV. Turning a game's... And ultimately, it comes down to this. Turning a game's difficulty down because you want that game to take less time so you can spend the time you have saved doing other things is absolutely fine. The Elder Scrolls 2. Good old... Hey, you know what? I used to be a horrible, edgy tryhard who was like, if you aren't playing on hard mode, you're not even playing the game, bro. You know, you're not even doing it. Story mode, what's that? Baby mode? And obviously then I grew up and I'm like, oh no, story mode just means I've got other things I want to do in my life mode. I get it now. I totally get it. Because when I was sat there, you know, when I was a young teenager, playing 8 to 10 hours of video games a day, and I was pretty much sat there being like, oh my god, yeah, this is easy. If you're not even playing this with your eyes closed, do you even know the game, bro? And then I got a job, and I'm like, oh, okay, I understand now. I get it.
I was hungry and lazy, so ordered pizza. And on the menu, it said chocolate pizza. And I thought, no. Nowhere would do a chocolate pizza. I was wrong. It's a chocolate pizza! And in case you think some of it's already been eaten, it has. And it's everything I hoped it would be, and more. In regards to pizza and chocolate pizza, is that Jurassic Park 1 was right. And sometimes we are so preoccupied with wondering whether we could, we never stop to think about whether we should. And chocolate pizza is probably an idea that should have stayed firmly on paper and not ever entered my stomach. Oh well, you live and learn.
Where were you the night Terra died? I was actually watching it die. Not in like a cruel, horrific way, but when I heard it was shutting down, I was just on the forums, watching some live streams of it, and then it went, and it was gone. And I think that's a brilliant, brilliant example of why preservation of video games is so important. I'm very much with Ross from Accursed Farms on this. Preservation of video games is vital, because we can lose them forever. There are video games that you just can't play anymore, that you will never be able to experience, and when you make your game always online, you're pretty much speed running your games becoming irrelevant, which I think is a shame. It's a real shame. So I was having a conversation with a company, and they were talking to me, and they said, because they wanted me to come on board their affiliate program, and I wasn't going to do it because I like remaining independent, but I always like to humour them and have a chat with them and see what's going on with stuff. And I was talking to this company, and they said to me, so Josh, what would you say the main reason for your YouTube channel is? What's the driving force behind it? And I was like, oh, money. And they looked at me like I just slapped a kitten or something. And they were like, what? I'm like, oh yeah, the channel makes money. And they were like, oh, is that why you want to do it? I'm like, yeah, I've got a real passion for buying food, and I really enjoy being able to get clothes and pay for Netflix and stuff like that. It's great. I've always had a deep desire to be able to buy Warhammer, and this makes that happen. Yeah, I've got a deep passion for not starving. That's what it was. And they couldn't believe it. They were like, oh, they expected me to say something like, oh, I love MMOs. I just want to make them all forever. No, I like MMOs, don't get me wrong. It's great, but I enjoy not starving. They did not know what to do. Yeah. The answer that everyone knows you want to give. Why do you want to work for this company? Because you have an opening, I need a job. That's it, really. Why do you want to work for the company? To be truthful, I don't. I'd rather stay at home and be a millionaire. But that's not happened yet. You have this job opening that needs to be done. I think I'm pretty competent. I could probably do the job. I'll turn up on time. I'll be pleasant to work with. I'll go home at the end of the day. You answer a job interview with that question, I'd hire you. Do I like my games like my bread, fresh out of the toaster? Thank you, actually, for asking how I like my bread. A lot of people don't take the time. I like my bread the same way that every middle-class English boy likes his bread, roasted over an open flame on my huge, big, wood-burning stove. Now, I did go through a period of time where we didn't have a toaster, so I cooked my bread in the Ninja food cooker. Oh, yeah. Yeah, you've not had real bread until you've tried to toast it inside a Ninja food cooker. Because, and I'm going to get into the physics of toast right now. The whole point of the toaster is that some of you might be thinking, Josh, please don't do this. Just play Guild Wars 2. No, shut up. Listen.
The physics of the toaster is when you put the bread in vertically, there are two almost grills that when you push the arm down kind of clamp gently in on the side of the bread. And what this does is this keeps the bread vertical. So when it's toasted and the moisture is removed from the bread, it remains like this and the bread doesn't curl. And then when it pops up, you can put the bread on the plate and the butter goes on because the bread itself remains flat. It was toasted vertically, but it switches to horizontal rather easily. The problem with the Ninja food cooker is that if you put the bread flat on the bottom, it's like an air fryer. You could only fit one slice of bread in because it's a circle, it's round. So if you put two slices of bread in, you've got kind of one overlaps on top of the other. You don't want that. So you can't put them vertical because the food, what's going to hold them? You put the bread in vertical, you let go, it's going to fall either way. So here's what you do. You put one bread in diagonal, another bread in diagonal like that. So the top of the bread is on the edge of the food cooker, so when you put the lid on, it's not there. But the two bits at the bottom support each other. Here's the problem, okay? This is the bread, right? As the bread heats up, what happens is this. And it bends in the middle. That's the problem. So when you open the top, the lid of the Ninja food cooker, and you take it out and you look in, you don't have two bits of bread like this that are toasted. You have two bits of bread that have almost fallen in the center into the crease, the curve. So when you then put them on the plate, you don't have two bits of flat toasted bread. You have a bit of bread like that and another bit of bread like that, like almost like a V shape. So when you butter them and pick them up, the butter runs into the middle and you have a trough, which means you have to kind of lean it backwards so it drips out the middle of this V shape. It's a whole thing, okay? And if you haven't ever experienced that in your life, I pray to God you never do. Ever. Nothing worse than V-shaped toast. Where did the bread come from? I'm so confused. Well, Bernados, many years ago, man discovered that by growing wheat and then grinding that wheat into a fine flour, mixing that flour with some water into a fine dough, adding some yeast. Is there any MMO you wish you could revive? I kind of want to revive Mortal Online 1 just so I can watch it die again. Because everyone that's ever played Mortal Online 1 tells me that I'm wrong. So I would love to revive it, bring it back to life, sit back and just watch as it implodes again. And then people can say to me, oh, but it didn't work this time. I'm like, guys, you had two chances. All right, you literally had two chances to do this. And it's been the same result both times. You're going to have to eventually admit, maybe it's just not as good as you think it is. I don't know why people don't take me seriously on the streams. I don't know what it is. I try to seriously stream and play the game to an analytical degree, and people are all, Josh, we can't take you seriously. Well, no more. Serious streams. Thank you. Have I played EVE Online? Not enough. EVE Online is remarkably complicated, and I fear that if I said anything about it wrong, they would manage to organise, because they are very good with spreadsheets, and take me down very quickly. I don't really want to try and annoy the EVE people. I mean, I'm not too bothered if the Mortal Online community get mad at me, because I'm pretty sure all 10 of them could probably, if they worked really hard, come together to make my day a little bit annoying. But if the EVE community got really annoyed at me, that would be bad. Thanks for the advice on why not to get a gamer chair. Arcor, you're more than welcome. Welcome to the stream. Yeah, I get a couple of messages every day, a couple of DMs from people saying things like, hey, I'm looking for a gaming chair. What should I buy? And the answer is very simple. Don't buy a gaming chair, because you aren't getting anything out of it. Buy an office chair. Please buy an office chair. That's the best way to do it. Go into a shop that sells shop like you are the manager of a bank. Shop like you're going to be in that chair for 8 hours a day, because gaming chairs look cool. They are not comfortable. They are not designed to be comfortable. They are designed for some 15-year-old kid to look at and go, oh my god, that is so cool. I'm going to buy that as a gaming chair. I'm going to be better at gaming. No, you're not. No, you're not at all. It's got no lumbar support. It's not got the squishiness. It's going to be hard as hell to clean, if possible to clean at all. It's going to be made of really low quality plywood covered in layers of thin cushion with some faux leather stretched over it. The stitching's not going to be very good on it. Please, like you say, Incubite's in the chat, spot on. If you buy a gaming chair, all you're going to get is back pain. You are not a gamer. You are someone who plays games and deserves a good chair. As soon as something gets branded as gaming whatever, they're relying on the fact that you identify strongly with a hobby over the fact that you're looking for quality. They think that your identifying with the word gamer is going to give them a lot of leeway to provide you with a subpar product. Buy a product for a purpose. Buy a product intended for a purpose, not a product that's trying to appeal to your sense of kind of cult appeal to it, your sense of tribalism within your hobby. Not the way to do it. Travel Torfing. Let's do this. Travel to the fleet. Yes, here we go. Alright. Prayer up, on we go. Now this first fight you're meant to pray mage. So, fuck me, let's teleport out from that. Will I play Wrath of the Lich King Classic? No, I don't want to give Blizzard any money. So, sorry. If you enjoy it, that's fine. That's your prerogative. I'm not going to tell you you're wrong for enjoying it. But I personally just don't like the idea of giving Blizzard money. I don't feel comfortable giving Blizzard money now. I know the game is fine. It's probably a good experience. Most of you guys are probably going to have a great time. But no, you're a stronger man than me. I hate Blizzard but love Classic. A lot of people, and this again is something that a lot of the average viewers just can't understand, the amount of people who actually care about the behind-the-scenes goings-on of a game or a game company or an MMO or the financials or the politics is remarkably small. Most people don't care. The average gamer will buy a game, play it, move on to another game. That's it. They won't care about the behind-the-scenes. They won't care about anything else. That's what they'll do. It's minuscule. If every single angry person on Reddit, on Discord, on clans, in guilds, if everyone who absolutely hated Call of Duty and thought Call of Duty was the worst shooter ever, if everyone who spent any amount of effort actively complaining about the game quit tomorrow, they wouldn't even notice. That's how many people play games and don't actually get involved in kind of the subculture outside of the games, if you will. They just don't care. They would not notice.
Are the other RuneScape games worth trying? Would you ever do a worst MMO for it? So I like RuneScape 3. I think there's a lot of charm to it. It's got a lot of character. There are good systems. There are bad systems. It can definitely do with some improvements. But as a game, I think it is a decent game. I think RuneScape 3 is much better played Iron Man than it is played regular. But that's just me because it makes you explore all of the content. The problem with RuneScape 3, and this is going to sound silly, is there is so much content that when you want to play RuneScape 3, you want to play efficiently. You want to have, everything ready to maximize the experience you're going to gain over a period of time. But there are so many systems in RuneScape 3 that you need to have active at the same time that it's overwhelming to do, and you will never achieve all of them, and so you tend to not want to train anything because you're not being efficient because you have so many systems you need to activate at the same time. You have to kind of accept that RuneScape 3 will never be played efficiently. It's impossible to play it efficiently. There is too much stuff. Yeah, there is so much to do in RuneScape 3 that you log in, you see it, and you log out because it's overwhelming. And you never want the player to feel overwhelmed. You want them to know they have a lot to do, but you don't want them to feel like they have to do a lot. Kind of got the issue with ESO, yeah. You want the player to be whelmed. You don't want them to be underwhelmed or overwhelmed. You want them to log into a game and think, yes, this is exactly what I expected and exactly what I wanted. This is whelming. That's good. Same thing as Retail WoW. Yeah, it's very overwhelming. RuneScape 3 is an interesting game. The only way to win is not to play. Good reference there to war games. If you are very deeply enfranchised in an MMORPG and I say, oh, your game is overwhelming, and you often say to me, no, it's not. You just need to do this, and this, and it's easy. This is what I ask people to do. Go and play an MMORPG that you have never played and see how long it takes until you get overwhelmed or feel that the opening experience is not very good. And then please understand that is what new players feel about your game. That's exactly what it is. I mean, I like Adventure Quest, but when I log into Adventure Quest, the opening screen does not feel new player friendly at all. It's almost like the opening screen assumes that you are returning to the game after several years, or you've been playing it for absolutely ages and know exactly what to do. I don't even know where to go in Adventure Quest Classic. It's not very well laid out at all. Although I like the game, it's just, it's very awkward to play. As soon as the game tries to install spy or anti-cheat, just, don't. I know you talked about Lost Ark a year ago when it got released, but did your opinion change? Not even played it. Didn't even want to. Had no desire to whatsoever.
Witches and wizards. Wizards, it's often said that wizards can change their appearance to look like whatever they want to look like, and witches can do the same. Now just think about it like this. A wizard often appears as an aged old man, and a witch often appears as an attractive young girl. But remember, these people can change how they look. So think about it. If you were an old man, what would you want to change yourself to look like? Probably an attractive young girl, because then you'll get all the attention. And if you were an attractive young woman, what would you want to change yourself to look like to focus on your magical studies? Probably a wizened old man. Therefore, it is my theory that all old men wizards are actually young, attractive wizards who have made themselves look like this. And all young, attractive wizards are old men wizards. And it's vice versa. I guarantee that Gandalf is like a 19-year-old girl who just wanted to look like that and was really powerful. Now, Dumbledore was the same. It's exactly what it was. My theory, though, and I subscribe to this theory very, very much, is Gandalf is not a wizard. Gandalf is a max-level fighter with some basic magic spells. You never actually see him cast many spells. He casts light. He casts shield when he's on the bridge. What does he then do? Does he start magic missiling it? No. Draws a sword, jumps after the Balrog. Who does that? A level 20 fighter. That's who does that. When he appears from the west, riding with the light. Anyone can cast light. What is it? He rides in with a massive, huge sword and just starts slapping people around. Gandalf does not need his magic because he is not a wizard. He is a max-level fighter who knows basic wizarding spells. Is the peel still on your PC? It is. It is. I'm not even lying. If you are new to the stream, I'm about to make you very sad. So, this is my PC. Okay? This is my PC. I know that it looks like a pride parade threw up in it, but trust me, it runs really fast. This is the little protective peel. Still there. Why? Because it's protected. You take the peel off, the glass is exposed to the elements. The resale value on it goes way down. Can I say something controversial? Ooh, is this so you can cancel me? Okay, let's say something controversial. What's the most controversial thing I could say? It's going to get a lot of clips on the clip channel. It's going to either get me cancelled or ruin some potential future sponsorships. Okay, let's get myself controversial. I have never watched It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. Yet whenever anyone asks, I always say it's great. Because a lot of people that I like find it very funny. And I want them to continue to like me. So I often just say that it's a good show. Despite not actually having any basis for why it's a good show. And when people say to me, oh, you remind me of whatever, I always go, yeah, despite not actually knowing who I remind them of. That's what it is. If you want to scam people with NFTs, if you can sleep at night after doing that, I'm not going to endorse you, but let me give you a step-by-step guide on how to do it, okay? Because I think that it's super important. It's super education. Education is important. And if I educate you on how people are doing it, you will work out how to do it. Let's imagine I go to some magical, mystical NFT people and I create a picture. You know, just one magical NFT and it's on sale. It's not worth anything and no one wants it, but it's there. And what I do is I go to Callum Upton, my friend, and I say, hey Callum, here's £110 in real life. Buy my NFT for £100. Keep the tenner. That's my favour to you. So he buys the NFT off me for £100. And this NFT then has one trade listed on it on the blockchain, which never lies, for £100. And then I go to somebody else, another friend of mine, and I give them £120. And I say, hey, could you buy that off, Callum for this amount of money? And they do it. And by now, I am a couple of £100 down, but then Callum gives me the money back in secret. And then I go to a few more of my friends and I say, hey, here's the actual money, buy this from me. And what happens is I'm actually selling the NFT to my friends. A big circle. And the money isn't actually leaving our circle. But the blockchain is recording multiple sales, slowly increasing. Here's the trick. All I need to do is wait for someone who's not in my friendship group to see the NFT increasing in value, increasing in trade value, and think, hey, I could get in on this, because look, it's sold for 100, and then 110, and then 120, then 130, 140, and then finally, someone who's not in my group buys it. And that's when I win. Because as soon as someone who's not in my group buys it, the money has entered my group from someone outside of my group. And therefore I keep it. So let's do this with 100. Let's say that I set up 100 shell companies, which is actually very easy to do. It's remarkably easy to set up a shell company in pretty much any country. That's just a company that has no physical actual trading address. You can even, if you Google shell companies, this was in the Panama Papers years ago. A shell company can be registered to pretty much any address. And there's actually a building in, I think it's America, with about 1,000 companies registered to it. Now, this is not financial advice at all. This is just stuff that you can do. You can register your companies at any address. You can have 10 companies under, your control, making 100 NFTs with one of the companies, and then just trade the NFTs between the companies repeatedly, for weeks. Eventually, someone who's not in your company will see these being traded for weeks and think, oh man, I need to get into this. And then they'll buy it from you. And then you don't buy it back. Why do you think NFT bros want you to think their pictures have value? Why do you think they're so, focused on making you think it's worth money? Because it's only worth money if you think it's worth money. It's only valuable if you want it. It's one of those things where if nobody wants the NFT, nobody's going to pay for the NFT. It's only valuable to someone who thinks they can sell it to somebody else. That's what it is. And it irritates me because it's taking advantage of people. Anything that isn't that a crime? Technically, what isn't a crime is, it's remarkably complicated in the NFT space because it's so new.
The people who know more have a more obnoxious chat. I will say that this Twitch chat, you guys specifically, as an entity, are very funny. Let's be real, you're not as funny as DugDug's Twitch chat. And that's because I'm not as funny as DugDug. So we all have to take our place as second best. One day, if you make a very funny joke in this chat, you will be allowed to go to DugDug's Twitch chat. You have to be funny enough here to then move over to him. That's how it works, okay? It's not rigged, there's no divorce, I will not take 3 shots of olive oil, and you are not becoming mayor. Straight up, you're not allowed. But if you make a very good joke here, I will allow you to go and hang out with Doug Duck. It's like, you come to me and you're like, Dad, Doug Duck said we could play. Can I go to Doug Duck's house now? And then I say yes. That's what happens. So you watch Doug Duck as well? Of course I do. One of the best YouTubers. I've recently started watching John Wolfe as well. Lots of his horror stuff. He's good. And the Stellar J, really funny. Exceptionally funny. Sometimes I watch YouTubers who are so funny, by the time their videos finish, all I do is hate them. Because they're just that good. Do you ever get that? God, man. I get to the end of some people's videos and I'm like, your editing's good, your research is good, your delivery's good. Fuck you.
Playing League of Legends is the opposite of watching Arcane, because watching Arcane was really fun and engaging and interesting, and playing League of Legends was terrible and annoying and just soul grinding. That's what it was. The best way to experience League of Legends is to stay as far from the actual game as you possibly can and just enjoy the media around it.
Is this game actually good? Old school RuneScape isn't necessarily... RuneScape is good in the same way that, like, drugs. Like, you shouldn't start, but if you have started, then, like, yeah, just carry on. That's how... I mean, don't obviously start, but that's what it is. No one actually knows if RuneScape is good anymore. No one's quite sure. We're all very much enfranchised. It's a lifestyle, but if someone says, hey, should I begin? No. No, run.
The main story quest is not the time to stream. When you stream, what you want is the premium content, like this. Someone motion captured that. Someone had to put on a suit and do that, and they got paid for that. They got paid. This is content. If anyone thinks, what's Final Fantasy XIV like? I want them to watch this clip.
I may only have 1% of the viewers of Asmongold. I know that. I know that. He's got 170,000. I've got 1.8 million. 1.8. But you know what I've got that he doesn't? So anyway,
what we need is to create MMO players who enjoy the...
That sentence that Zeppa said could have ended there. What we need to do is create MMO players who enjoy. Because at the minute, none of them enjoy anything. I went to, against my better judgment, I went to the subreddit r/MMORPG. I'll tell you what. If you want to see a bunch of people who absolutely cannot stand MMOs, go to the MMO subreddit. They frickin' hate them.
Adversity, or who enjoy pain and suffering. Holy.
If we have to find MMORPG players who enjoy adversity and enjoy pain and suffering, we could probably just grab the old school RuneScape player base. Anyone with 99 runecrafting is immediately in.
Holy shit. I just realized. This... Blizzard has been playing like 5D chess this whole time. Blizzard has figured it out. So this whole time, they were actually causing their players to suffer so much so that they would get used to it and learn to appreciate the adversity and the challenge and the suffering to mold them into the new type of player that would be necessary to rekindle the greatness of MMOs. This is all for the best. They're thinking of you the whole...
Maybe Blizzard have been playing 5D chess. Maybe Blizzard know that when they release a new update, you'll buy it, then you'll suffer, and then you'll appreciate it, and then you'll buy the next one. I still absolutely cannot freaking stand. I feel personally offended by Battle for Azeroth. Because you know what that battle was for? Nothing. You know what changed after Battle for Azeroth? I don't. Did we battle for Azeroth? Did the battle happen? Did Azeroth win? Was that what it was? Oh, the next one's going to be good. Oh, don't worry. Zeppler's told me the next one's going to be good. Dragonflight, I believe it's called. It's going to be good. I wonder, okay, I'm just going to put something out there right now, and you can call me crazy. I think there is a very small Dragonlands, or whatever it's called. Dragonflight was that Guild Wars 2? It was one of them. What do you think of the possibility that the next World of Warcraft expansion might have something to do with maybe a shady, shadowy, powerful figure who might have even been pulling the strings this whole time? And then, hear me out on this, because it's going to get fucking insane. The Horde and the Alliance, bear with me, momentarily put aside their differences and team up against a greater threat. I know. I mean, they haven't done that since the Burning Crusade, or Wrath of the Lich King, or Cataclysm, or Warlords of Draenor, or Mist of Pandaria, or whatever came after that. I've honestly given up counting, to be honest. Legion? Was it Legion? I mean, is it even legal? It's not. It's not. Can we just genuinely consider the fact that so far the Horde and the Alliance have actually teamed up more than they fought each other? Like, just going off pure numbers, they're allies. Consider this. Right, I'm going to drop some tactical knowledge bombs on you right now. I used to play Magic the Gathering, and new Magic the Gathering players have this focus on not dying. They have this, gain life is good. They have this play defensively, build up your, kind of defensive defenders and buffs and whatnot. No, stop. All you're doing if you play like that is delaying your defeat. All right? You're not winning, you're just delaying defeat. If I build up shields and defenses, that doesn't actually lead to victory, that just delays defeat. So I'm only going to choose things that lead to victory for me. Damage, good. If enemy kill me, my damage not good enough. Make gooder. Make gooder damage. That is my... Okay, apply points. That's my focus. Please, New World is just a small indie game. Stop being mean. New World is proof that it's easier to go to space than it is to build a working MMORPG. So whenever anyone comes to me and goes, hey, I'm one guy, I'm going to build an MMORPG, I'm be like... They literally sent a man to space before they were able to do this. Amazon is a multi-dollar company. That's very true. How do I get out of here? Oh, bollocks! I pressed the wrong button. This is going really badly. This is going really badly. Just realised all tabs are incognito. Yeah, of course they are. I mean, if I bring up a regular tab, I'm just going to, click on the address bar. I'm going to type in any letter, and then you're all going to start working out exactly what immediately drops up and comes down. I know you're going to do that. And I don't need you knowing exactly how many anime waifu pillows I've bought. Do I? I need to make sure that I'm hiding all of that from you. I know that's exactly what you're doing. Don't lie to me. It's what anyone does. Whenever you're looking over someone's shoulder on their phone, you're like, oh, you're typing an internet address. I hope you start with the letter P, because I want to have a quick glance over what pops up there. Grow up. It's been fun making YouTube videos, but Diablo Immortal is the best thing to ever happen to Path of Exile. Let's just... 4 zombies. Here we go. It really is. Diablo Immortal is just the absolute greatest thing to happen to Path of Exile. Okay, so hang on. This is a master lock. But it's okay. I've seen enough lock-picking lawyer videos to know that the master lock isn't as good as we all think. Okay, nothing on 1. 2 is binding. Nothing on 3. It was there. It was basically just there. Oh, that was close. That was really close. Hang on. We actually did it. God damn. Thank you, lock-picking lawyer. I didn't think we'd be able to do that. Search chest. Always Amulet of Kiraneth. Cool. Always grab a good chest when you see one. But no. You know what I think New World has failed to add in? I think New World has forgot to add in the fun bit. Their crafting is really complicated. And it's decent. But it's mechanical. It's extremely mechanical. There's no real heart behind it. There's no joke. Like, sometimes in Final Fantasy XIV, some of the items have stupid descriptions. They have joke descriptions. RuneScape doesn't take itself seriously. The Elder Scrolls Online has an entire plot about having two NPCs trying to hook up with each other. I feel that what New World has done is it's taken itself super seriously. It literally is a corporate MMO. It's what would happen if you took a load of people who don't play MMORPGs, told them how an MMO is meant to work, and then made them take it really seriously. You know what there isn't in New World? There isn't a raid finder or a dungeon finder. As much as I dislike them, a lot of people want them. And it would help. I also think there should be more to do before level 60. I am not a fan of the content beginning at endgame. I think that is the dumbest thing you can possibly do. To have the content begin at endgame, you're basically telling me your entire previous game is contentless. There should be stuff to do all the way through. Getting to level 60 should not be, okay, now the game starts. It should be, oh, fantastic, now you've got access to a few more things. RuneScape does it the best. RuneScape and Guild Wars 2 do it exceptionally well. Just play the game, you unlock stuff as you go. It's difficult to have content before endgame. I mean, not really. You just add in stuff that matters at that point. If I were to ever make an MMORPG, you would be able to do basically everything in the game at level 1, a version of it, and then as you level, you just unlock more complex stuff of what you've already got. I truly believe, and forget me if I'm wrong, at level 1, you should have access to a quest line. You should also have access to crafting. You should have access to gathering. You should have access to a dungeon-style experience. You start an MMO. You are level 1. You are a player who likes dungeons. Well, that's just pretty good, because guess what? Your first dungeon, literally training. It's a dungeon set in a castle training yard through an assault course set up for you with castle guards fighting against you. And you have to find 3 or 4 other people to do it, and there's a dungeon finder. If that's all you want to do, cool, there you go. That is the experience for you to have, right there. And once you've done that, there'll be more and more and more. Consider this, and this is going to sound dumb, but consider this. Imagine you made an MMORPG and the only way that you could possibly level from start of the game to end of the game is just dungeons. You've got dungeon at level 1, dungeon level 2, dungeon level 3, dungeon level 4, dungeon level 5. And by the time you get to whatever the maximum is, 50, you can get to 50 by just playing all the dungeons. Now imagine another MMO where you can get to the max level by just crafting, just gathering, just following the main quest line. What about just following the side quest lines? So you've got all these games where you can get to maximum by just following the route that you want to follow, but the other routes are there for you. And now imagine you put all of these together. So when you join in to your MMO, there's a dungeon available to you, but there's also gathering, there's also crafting, there's a main storyline, there's a side storyline, there's a bit of open world PvP, there's a bit of this, there's a bit of that. You choose what you want to go and do with that, and it's always open to you, and it's super easy to access. All of the successful MMOs do that. You can just go through FF14 like that. You can just go through Elder Scrolls like that. It's not sandbox. People say that's called sandbox. No, it's not. It's theme park, because you literally have things open to you that you then go and do. Sandbox is there is nothing set, make your own fun. There are no dungeons, there's no quests, there's no storylines, there's nothing that you do. It's just, here you go, we've built a world with nothing in it, go and enjoy it. And sometimes that works. But theme park MMOs are where you actually have stuff to do. And when the group is formed, it will likely stick together because the process of forming another is difficult.
I wouldn't count on that, Chief. Okay. I wouldn't count on that. Plenty of people will literally just get up and leave in the middle of it because, Plenty of people will literally get on fire.
The group is the adversity, and the feeling of having formed one is now substantial.
Group is
Then the group kind of comes in to remove the adversity.
That was the giggle.
Forming the group.
That's what I wanted. That was the giggle, man. That was all I wanted it to do, and we got it. We nailed it. There we go. What did I just join? You just joined Twitch, my friend. Skyrim when? Look, let me tell you something about Skyrim. The problem with Skyrim is that recently I've played Elden Ring. You know, sometimes you play a game that's so good, other games are now worse. That's the problem. You know, you play a game and it's so good, and then you go back and you play another game similar to it and you think, oh my god, this is just terrible. By comparison. You know, you play a really good stealth game and then you go and play a crap stealth game, and then you're like, this crap stealth game was better before I played the better game. I have nearly finished Elden Ring, and now pretty much every single open world combat game I'm comparing to Elden Ring. So, and they're not winning. They're not winning at all. Where is Bezos on the list? Can you imagine if Jeff had a Twitch channel? I'd watch it. I'd watch. Would you watch Jeff himself Twitch stream? I bet he'd play New World. I bet he'd play New World, and I bet he'd be really pissed off that he has to pay taxes in the game. That's what would get him. He'd be playing it and he'd be like, what is this word? TAXES? I don't know what that means. And we'd say, Jeff, it means you have to pay a small amount of money whenever you do something. He'd be like, what? What? What is this? How can Amazon make a game with taxes in it? Do they not see the irony of what they've done? What do I think about Blizzard? Oh, God. Will I be playing Diablo 4? No. Will the scandals make from playing? Yes. There's a very specific reason why I've stopped mentioning World of Warcraft in any video that I make. I've actively chosen to not engage with it anymore. And the reason for it is, one, for a long time World of Warcraft was homogenizing the genre. For a long time, you've had to say, hey, I play online adventure games like World of Warcraft. It was the game that other people used as an example of online games. That's what it was. And I've been trying very hard recently to avoid it on purpose, because I don't want the MMORPG genre to just be World of Warcraft and others. I want it to be its own thing and have a lot of different franchises and games going on and being successful. I want it to be Final Fantasy XIV and The Elder Scrolls Online and Guild Wars 2 and, you know, other stuff like that. I want it to be varied. And right now, I think that using World of Warcraft not only homogenizes the choices that players can make, but it brings attention to a game that I just don't think right now is that good. I don't think it is. World of Warcraft is good in the same way that Game of Thrones is good. It was good. It was. There was a period of time where it was good. But it's not now. The period of time when it was fun to get into Game of Thrones was years ago. Season 1 is still good. Season 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 to an extent. Still very high quality pieces of entertainment. But people often forget that a piece of entertainment is also a social thing. Like, remember when Game of Thrones was in season 3 or 4 and everyone cared? Like, merchandise was everywhere. Fans were everywhere. You could see people wearing the t-shirts and the bags and the accessories, and you could talk about it and people knew about it, and the book readers were acting all superior and smug. Remember how connected we all felt when that happened? Remember when Pokemon Go came out and it all happened?
Everyone was connected. The summer that Pokemon Go came out, the world felt all right for a bit. It did. It was like, this is okay. This is pretty cool. And then it's still good, but it faded. The social moment for it faded. That's what it was. The social moment faded. World of Warcraft was great back when it had that social moment, and now it's faded. It's like, well, yeah, World of Warcraft is fidget spinners, but on a much bigger scale. It was fine for a bit, then it got a little bit strange, and then everyone started sticking the genitals in the middle of it, and that kind of killed it. So in a way, yes, World of Warcraft is very similar to fidget spinners. Very rarely added things to WoW nowadays. It was. It's. I think the time to get into it. I don't feel confident as a games reviewer or as an MMORPG fan recommending World of Warcraft to someone now. I just don't. Will you tell me off if I put you on the second monitor again? How dare you? How dare you put my half-hour-long videos on the second monitor? All right? I mean, if I sit down to make a half-hour video, I expect you to watch every second. Like, not even doing something else, just every single second. That's what I expect. And if you don't, I will take that as a personal insult. That's what it'll be. It was on the third monitor. Such flex. If you're running 3 monitors, mate, you're one step beyond me. I can't tell someone else what to do if they've got 3 monitors. That person is above me. We watch your videos on the couch with the big TV. Good. As it should be. That's what I expect. No, I mean, how dare you put me... I'm not a second monitor YouTuber. I mean, I could name a couple who are. I mean, SaberSpark, definitely a second monitor guy. Spiffing Brit, second monitor all the way. The 59-part documentary on Chris Chan that I'm working my way through, that's a second monitor thing. What else? Anything from Tolarian Academy, that's a second monitor right there. You know what? Everyone was really impressive that they're running Windows 11. They're like, ooh, I've gone from Windows 10 to Windows 11. You know what? Fuck you. I've got Windows 2000. Okay? I am so far ahead of you, you have no idea. Angry demon lady. Right. Battle time. Right, everyone in the chat needs to just grow up for a second, alright? Because I know what you're going to spam. I'm not even going to read it. Just grow up, alright? Is this allowed on Twitch? Yes, it is. This is fine. Okay, I've already checked. People have streamed this. This is absolutely fine.
Am I planning to play WoW hardcore? Probably not. I don't believe that World of Warcraft is doing enough right now within the MMORPG space to justify a load of time being played into it from a new player. I mean, I've played it a long time ago. I enjoyed being a Vengeance Demon Hunter tank. I think it was great. But with the amount of options and choice that I've got available to me and the amount of games that I've got coming out, I just wouldn't particularly want to put a load of time into World of Warcraft right now. I think that, unfortunately, people often ask me why I don't put World of Warcraft on lists when I say of what games you should play. I'll tell you for the same reason. For the same reason that when someone asks me what sport I think they should play, I don't recommend football. I understand that football is the most popular sport in the world. I understand that it's incredibly easy to get into, it's got a huge amount of history, it's got a massive amount of fans, and you can absolutely find a social group who enjoy football. It is so popular, so ubiquitous with sports, that you almost don't need to recommend it. It's just that popular. It's just that big. So when someone says to me, hey, which sport should I get into? I tend to not recommend football for 2 reasons. 1, it's so bloody popular it doesn't need recommendations. And 2, the kind of people that are asking what sport they should get into tends to already know football exists and want more fringe suggestions. That's one of the things that I feel about World of Warcraft. People go, oh, why haven't you put World of Warcraft on this? Should you playlist? It's so popular, it's always there. It's number one. It's been number one kind of for years and years and years, apart from that slight moment where kind of Final Fantasy XIV briefly took over because Blizzard's finally dropped the ball too long on it. But I don't recommend it simply because I don't think that a new MMORPG player is going to get as much out of it as they would out of other MMOs that are currently around.
Is this guy a real streamer? What a question. Let me answer that for you.
Currently, the biggest game in the world is Pal World. Little indie game, came out of nowhere, took over most players on Steam, took over more than Counter-Strike, more than Baldur's Gate 3, just a ridiculous number of players. Everyone wants Pal World content right now. Everyone's saying, hey, what's happening in Pal World? Let's watch Pal World streams. And you ask if I'm a real streamer. To answer your question, here's Morrowind. Because I want to play Morrowind. Good idea? Don't know. Is it going to happen? Yes. I don't get it. Why would everyone stream Pal World? Want to watch it? There are already enough streamers. That's true. There are already people streaming Pal World. There's probably not that many people streaming Morrowind. That is, if anything, I'm really smart. When a game comes out, I think, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to stream this game 22 years from now. And that way, all of the older millennials will think, oh good, Josh gets it. Josh understands. Have I seen the peak player count of Pal World? 1.3 million. Yes, that is exactly what made me want to play Morrowind. Because I thought, if I were a good, a competent, focused, smart streamer, I would, without a doubt, play Pal World. But I'm a crusty millennial.
Am I enjoying Factorio so far? Allow me to explain it. Callum had never played Factorio before. I suggested to Cal he should buy Factorio. Callum has owned Factorio for a week. He has played 55 hours in a week. That's not healthy. I know that Cal has work to do and stuff, but the fact that he's played 55 hours in a week is a little bit scary to me. That's a lot of hours to play in a week. Yeah, boring. Play the damn game. Yeah, Vile Beggar, if you don't want me to go off on tangents, mate, you are not going to enjoy this stream. You know what, Vile Beggar? How's your day gone? I've spoken for a while now. I've spoken for a good... I'm on 2 hours. You can entertain me for a bit. Come on, you can type now. Tell me what you've been up to. Give me a thing you've done. Because I've told you all about immersive theatre. I've told you all about me. We've done that stuff. It's you've got the mic, so it's over to you. What have you been up to today? I'm just watching. People are asking questions. It's not me anymore, guys. It's Vile Beggar. It's not me. Okay? I've talked enough. It's boring. I need to just play the damn game. You know what? He's right. He is right. Okay? He is definitely right. Because Vile Beggar knows how to Twitch stream, so I'm going to take his advice. Let's see how exciting this Twitch stream becomes.
As you desire.
Oh, it's Shale. Are you compelled yet, Vile Beggar? I mean, if I wasn't... Holy shit, this is boring. Please stop playing and just talk. What do you want? Do you want me to play the game? Do you want me to not play the game and talk? You can't want me to do both. Alright? No one can do both. I'll tell you a show that I really frickin' hate, and I understand that I'm probably going to upset a lot of people here, but I need to be honest. I need to speak my truth. Okay, first of all, I really hate the word my truth. It's objectively truth or not truth. You've got to bear with me on this one, okay? I do not care for the Big Bang Theory. I know, it's out there, it's crazy. Some of you are crying already. Some of you, I know, the catchphrases, bazoinga, you know, things like that. Penny, where are my mushrooms? The classic ones. Oh, Leonard, you've built another electron microscope. You know, all the classic ones that we know and love. The things that happen all the time. Yeah, the Bazunga, Zimbabwe, Bazingo. They're excellent, just super memorable catchphrases. Let me explain why the Big Bang Theory is crap from an actual nerd. And after I finish doing this incredibly difficult thing, maybe I'll do something just as difficult. Maybe I'll shoot fish in a barrel. The Big Bang Theory is a show taking the piss out of nerd culture without understanding what nerd culture actually is. It is using the names and the iconography of nerd culture as complete surface level references and not actual deep connections to the way it mechanically works or is. Here's an example. I was watching, unfortunately, because I used to work in a warehouse and the Big Bang Theory was on, and there was an opening at the start. And they were all sat round on laptops playing some kind of MMORPG. And one of them says, "Yes, I have the Sword of Azeroth." And the other one looks at them like that's really impressive, and the first one goes, "To eBay!" And then there's a big laugh because, oh, he's selling the thing. And then you hear a little blink sound, and then another one next to them goes, "Yes, now I have the Sword of Azeroth." Okay, I get the situation. I get that there was a drop. The dude got the drop. He sold it on eBay. The other guys got that. I get it. The rhythms are there. But the reason I didn't find it funny was because that drop doesn't exist. If it did, it would be untradeable. And that's not how eBay works. You can't put something up that quickly, and you can't sell it and buy it and trade it that quickly through eBay and through a game. You're using an MMORPG, you're using a drop system, you're using player trading, and you're using eBay, and you're using literally all of them wrong. That's why I didn't find it funny. I didn't find it funny at all because they were using the surface level references without actually understanding what those references really meant to the people who understand them. Yeah, it's really, really irritated me. Yeah, and the fact that in that, it's disrespectful to the source, good way of putting it, in that scene, they weren't using mice. Who plays an MMO without a mouse? 3 people sat on laptops. You expect me to believe 3 nerds don't own a single mouse between them? No. They could have... Oh, that would have worked. Rin, that would have been a great joke. Had they have got something, got a drop, and sold it in order to buy a mouse to make the next drop easier, that would have worked quite well. Yeah, you can tell... That is a perfect way of putting it. Absolutely perfect way, Bay. You can tell when the writers of a joke understand the source material.
Hey Josh, why should I play Final Fantasy XIV over World of Warcraft? It's a good question.
Is anyone else like this? Like the past 2 months? It's okay. I mean, if you are over the computer, great. Get yourself in the gym. Get yourself walking through nature for a little bit. Read a book. Find a passion. Work out whatever you want your job to be for life. But sometimes... And this is something that's strange to me. Sometimes people will message me and say, "Josh, I've played a game for 5,000 hours. I don't find it fun anymore. What do I do?" I'm like, play another game. It's entertained you for 5,000 hours. That's way more than anything should ever be able to do. You've done phenomenally well to get that far. It's okay. You can play another game. It's okay. You can do that. And sometimes, have you ever sat down to... I mean, I find this most common with MMORPGs, but I think it also happens with other game styles. You sit down, you turn on the console or the PC or whatever, you boot the game up, the main menu kicks in, you load a previous save, and like 2 or 3 minutes in, you just think, I'm not feeling it. I don't know why. It's just not grabbing me. I feel like I'm going through the motions. I feel like I'm fulfilling an obligation. I feel like I'm sitting down to complete a chore instead of excitedly running home from school or work and then, logging into an adventure fantasy that I'm enjoying and want to experience and go through. Sometimes I do very much feel like I am just almost fulfilling an obligation to myself. And I have to stop myself and say, hang on, why am I fulfilling an obligation that I feel to myself when I'm not having fun? Here's one thing that I saw on Reddit recently, and I am a filthy Reddit user, and I'm sorry, and I apologize to everyone, but the subreddit MMORPG, there are so many posts on there every week of, I'm not enjoying my game, what do I do? Play another game. Do something else. It's a hobby. It's okay. You don't need to do it all the time. One of the posts I saw on Reddit was someone saying, I want to quit WoW, but I feel guilty for letting my raid team down. And I'm thinking, it's not a professional sport. This isn't your livelihood. It's a hobby. While I understand that you will have a team of people relying on you, the team of people should be your friends, and they should understand if you say, hey, this isn't a fun part of my life anymore. This isn't an enjoyable bit of my life. I'm going to go and do something else. I'm going to stop this for a bit. Totally okay. If I'm playing RuneScape hardcore with a couple of friends and one of my friends is like, you know what, guys, I'm not really enjoying this anymore. I'm going to do something else. Sweet. Go and do that. When you feel ready, we'll still be here. That's how it works. But people very much seem to value the achievement hunting over the actual experience. Have you ever done something in a game because you get an achievement for doing it, and you would have never done this had there not been an achievement? This is proof that the getting of the achievement is more important than the journey the achievement took you on to get it. And sometimes people say to me, oh man, I wish MMOs were how they used to be, where people just did things for fun. Okay, cool. People do still do things for fun. But what you have to understand is it's very difficult to do something for fun when you don't get that dopamine hit of achievement completed for doing it. If you have to be completely self-reliant on setting your own goals and achieving your own random things, and achieving them is only validated by you saying you've achieved them instead of the game agreeing you achieved them, or even a leaderboard showing other players that you achieved them, people are going to be far less motivated to do it, because a lot of people are pushed by external factors, not their own intrinsic, I'm proud of myself for doing it thing. And it sucks. People often say to me, oh, I wish MMOs were more social. If anything, they've got the ability to be more social than they ever were, with more chats available and more ways to connect. What they don't have is the necessity to communicate anymore. And if you force the necessity in by designing a game where you have to talk to people, people are going to quit. Because the people that wanted to talk to people already are. And the people that don't want to talk to people aren't going to appreciate being forced to. So you're not really kind of helping anyone out there, which kind of sucks.
Why don't I play Lost Ark? For the same reason that I'm not playing Guild Wars 1 right now. There's a limited amount of time in my day to play a lot of games. I will eventually play Lost Ark. It just might not be anytime soon. I will get there.
Do I play Elder Scrolls Online? You know what? I've got a strange thing about Elder Scrolls Online. And if you've played it before, I think you'll probably agree with this. I love everything about Elder Scrolls Online. I love the lore, I love the graphics, I love the general history, I love the way that the characters are built, I love the quest progression, I love the way that you can buy it once and own it forever. I love everything except playing it. It's super weird. Like, on paper, it's everything I want in an MMORPG. I look at it and I'm like, that's the correct decision. That's the good decision. That's the right decision. That's the good decision. And then I play it, and after like an hour, I'm like, I'm just going to go to the gym instead. It's so weird. It's perfect on paper, and it just doesn't work for me as a long-term game. It was really fun. Like, I honestly think it's the combat that really does change it. Yeah, it tries to be both a Bethesda and an MMO, and it's difficult to do that. I think it's a good Bethesda game, but I'm not sure if it's a great MMO. It's really weird. I do think it comes down to the combat, and I do think it comes down to... I love the crafting in Elder Scrolls Online. I think the crafting is phenomenal. Yeah, I do believe it very much comes down to the combat. Like, if you change the combat around, it would be great, but they've pretty much invested so much time into this combat as it is now that I don't think they would ever change it. I'm not saying play ESO, but I think everyone should try the Elder Scrolls Online, because it makes a lot of good choices. It really does. There's a hell of a lot of good choices in the game, and I think everyone should at least try the Elder Scrolls Online, because it's worth trying, without a doubt. But I find that it doesn't really capture me constantly, because I'm a big fan of old school RPGs. A big fan. I mean, I'm playing old school RuneScape right now. I love old school RPGs, and I feel that the level scaling for basically everything in ESO kind of makes the whole world feel somewhat flat. I like the experience when I'm playing an RPG and I find an enemy that I can't kill because they're super high level, or I find stuff that I can grind, and like Baldur's Gate. Baldur's Gate, the old RPG on PC, one of my favorite games of all time. I love the fact that you can go and kill the Ankegs in Baldur's Gate from pretty much the start. They'll kill you, But you can try, and that's what I very much enjoy about the game. I enjoy being given the ability to try and fail, and I do just think that The Elder Scrolls Online feels very flat. Not that it's not worth your time. It's definitely worth your time. But it hasn't managed to enthrall or capture me for a long time.
Everyone's messaged me, Josh, what's your opinion on Lost Ark? It's probably going to be a pretty good isometric style, top-down MMO that people are going to enjoy for a bit and then move on and play something different. The same as most MMOs have. It's also going to be one of those things where is it pay to win? Is it pay to win? Right. What I hate is the fact that if someone accuses something of being pay to win, as soon as someone says yes in any level, everyone just assumes that it's shit straight away. It's not, but is it pay to win? Yes. And I'll explain why. Pay to win means there is a direct and constant, that's important, correlation between the money you put in and the power you get out. People say to me, oh, but surely it's pay to win to buy a RuneScape membership. Well, no, because you can only put the money in to buy the membership once a month. And if someone else puts the money in, they're on the same level as you are. You can't keep putting money in to keep getting stronger. People say, is it pay to win to buy an expansion? Again, no, because once you've bought the expansion once, you can't keep putting the money in. Pay to win is if you keep putting money in, do you keep getting stronger? That's the way to look at it. And with a lot of Eastern games, and Lost Ark is included in this, the answer is yes. The more money you put into Lost Ark, the stronger you can become. What about old school RuneScape bonds? Yeah, bonds absolutely turned RuneScape into a pay-to-win game for a long time. Absolutely, they totally did. And you can't deny that. The same with the Blizzard token for Warcraft. Absolutely. So pay-to-win is a spectrum, but the way that I look at it is there a consistent correlation with no ceiling between the amount of money you can put into a game and the amount of power you can get out? If you can put £100 in and get £100 worth of power, but then putting more money in does not grant you any more power, then you may be able to say, well, it's pay for a massive advantage, but it's not necessarily consistently pay to win. If it's the more money you put in, the more powerful you get, why have you crashed, Skyrim? Do you not agree? Do you not agree with my pay to win analysis? Is that what it is? Todd Howard's watching right now, and he's going, no. No, Josh, you aren't allowed to talk about it like that. You have the drinking palate of a 5-year-old. Prime, let's just talk about this. When I was in university, I went to the student union, the bar, and there were a lot of boys, lads there, drinking pints of bitter and lager and ale. And I ended up saying, can I have, I think it was a WKD, something that's bright blue and full of sugar. And all these lads looked at me like, what you doing? I'm like, I like this. This is tasty. This is nice. This tastes like fruit. This tastes like sugar. Your drinks taste like bitter. It's in the title. People always go, oh, it's not a manly drink. Let's not gender drinks. And even if we did, can we just talk about the fact that the manliest thing you can do is whatever you enjoy, regardless of other people's necessary perceived opinions of it. If you like the taste of something, get it. When I go to a bar, I order a cocktail. You know why? Because it's fruity and it's tasty and I can sip it slowly. And people are always, they look at me. You know, I'll walk in, I've got a suit on, got my big black jacket on, look like an extra from Peaky Blinders. I'll walk in and I'll say, I'll have a mojito, please. I'll have a sex on the beach. I'll have a screwdriver. And the bartenders look at me sometimes and they kind of take the piss. They're like, oh, do you want like a little umbrella with that as well? I'm like, goddamn right I want a little umbrella with that. All drinks taste better with a little tiny umbrella in them. I will stand there, I will sip it out of a cocktail glass. That'd be great. If someone wants to take the piss out of you for drinking a drink that you like the taste of, that just shows that person is insecure. Secure people do not feel the need to judge other people's drink choices.
All I'm going to use is gas arrows and fire. That's it.
first ones.
It moves.
Number one ranger build in the world, what did I tell you? You all thought I was joking. I was not joking. I have now genuinely found the greatest ranger build in this entire game, the fart dart. That's what it is. I'm sorry. This is the flaming toot. It's the IBS build. This is how we do it. You build up gas, you blow it up. That's it. I'm sorry, some of you might be overwhelmed by now, and I apologize for that.
When people say to me, have you stopped playing X game, I try and explain it. It's like asking someone if they've stopped eating a certain food because they're not eating it right now. Like if yesterday I had a burger and today I have pizza and someone goes, oh Josh, have you quit burgers? Yes. Yes, I have. Forever. Never again shall I enjoy meat between two buns. Get your head out of the gutter, alright? Not like that. Grow up. Stop it. Your minds are filthy. No, Blizzard tried to get me to say that their new Hearthstone game mode was good. And they said, how much would we have to pay you? And I responded, nothing. Just make a good game. And they're like, oh yeah, we can't do that. They didn't say that literally, but that's what I think that's what in my mind they said. They were like, hey Josh, what are your going rates for advertising a game? I'm like, oh yeah, that's pretty simple. Just make a really good game. Like, if you make a good game, I'll just make a video on it saying it's good. If you make a shit game and pay me to say it's good, just take the money you were going to pay me and put it into making your game good.
We'll sprint back over here just after the keynote is finished. There is not much time left, so I'll see you fine folks over there in just a moment. Thank you very much.
D4 bad.
Did someone just add in D4 bad at the very end? That wasn't me, I didn't say that.
Josh, you seem to be an intelligent individual, so I have to ask, why did you get a gaming chair? I'm gaming. You need to game. You can't game on a regular chair. I've tried it. You buy a regular chair, you sit down, you turn on Skyrim, 5 minutes later you blink, you're answering emails and making a PowerPoint presentation. And you're like, oh, this is a business chair. It can't be done. I bought a business chair, I sat down, I turned on Supreme Commander, I started moving some units around. Suddenly, I'm checking if we can do some blue sky thinking, some out-the-box thinking, if we can circle around, find the holding pattern, maybe return to this, put a pin in it. And then I'm thinking, oh, I'm just thinking of business lingo. You can't do it. You cannot do it. You know what this chair is right now? This chair is more duct tape than chair. And I've proven this to you before. I've shown you the chair. It's just duct tape. Gaming chairs do suck. But I'm also very cheap. You know why? It's because every time someone drops 50 subs on the channel, I go and buy more Magic the Gathering cards.
Right, we are still underwater in the Lost Dwemer checkpoint. I really should have brought some potions of water breathing, because I am going to run out of mana, and you cannot rest underwater either. So that's a problem. We just keep stabbing these fish. Oh, there we go, thank God. Ooh. Oh, okay, that was actually quite nerve-wracking. I did not like that. You're an Argonian, you can water breathe. I can cast water breathing, but I can't actually breathe forever. That's the annoying thing. So I can cast breathe underwater, but I still... Oh god, there's... Oh, Dwemer Centurions. Okay, cool. I still have a breath meter, see? Even as an Argonian. In this game, you still... And I'm pretty sure you can't keep casting that. You can cast that... Hang on. Hang on. Can you cast water breathing as often as you want all the time? Have I just been really dumb this entire playthrough? Like, can you just... I will respectfully ask that you all... Okay, that's trapped, but I'm going to open it and see what happens.
I would ask that you all respect my privacy at this time, and none of you comment on anything.
I'll be right back.
I'll take over. It's not a problem. SSX Tricky review will come pretty soon. Not a problem at all. I know that my microphone probably sounds a little bit crusty compared to Asmon's, but I am buying a new one. I'm spending a little bit of money upgrading my setup and getting a slightly better mic. You can let Asmon's chat know that I'll take over for a second, then we can all pop back over to him. Just sit in his chair. Hang on. Alright, cool. I'm back, guys. Just been to the bathroom. Didn't even wash my hands. See, I know. I've got my $2 steak downstairs cooking. Got my diet soda. We're all ready. So, yeah. So far, everything said is real and true. Wash hands? Well, I need to wash my hands, man. I've got a clean dick. So far, everything that I've said is real, true, and accurate, and well-researched, if I do say so myself. SSX Tricky review will definitely be happening at some point, because SSX Tricky was legitimately one of my favourite games. Very much enjoyed that. Why is he off on Asmon? Guy, don't worry. Asmon's chat, it's okay. You stay there. I can read your chat. I've got you up on the screen. You don't need to pop over here. You stay over there. I'll keep reading your chat. Hi, Josh. Hello, always late. How are you doing today? Fact, anyone named Josh is a douche. That is true. That is real and true. I literally can't deny that. 100% correct. Can I do the eyebrow thing? I can't. I can't act as well as this. I'll try as hard as I can to just keep the eyebrows going up and down while I react to stuff. I need like a little cup that I can sip from while going, possibly doing some raiding. Yo, Asmon, when Final Fantasy stream? I'll get back there eventually. I'll get back, don't worry. Hi, Josh. Hello, the Iceman. Hopefully you're having a lovely day. I'm trying as hard as I can just to make sure that I'm distracting the stream away. Too much hair. We can try. I'll pull it back. It's fine. I'll put a hat on or something. Where's the bald cat? I do have one around here somewhere, probably. Josh looks like Rob Stark. Thank you. Thank you, Meta. I appreciate that. However, I feel that, Josh looks like Rob Stark, gives Rob Stark like the advantage. If I ever meet Richard Madden, I'm going to tell him that he looks like me. If I am not playing a specific MMORPG at the exact time you ask about it, I have quit that MMO forever. That's the best way of looking at it. Someone says, hey Josh, you're not playing RuneScape today. I've quit forever. I will never return to the game. Hey Josh, last time I watched you, you were playing Final Fantasy, but now you're not playing Final Fantasy. That's because I've quit. Cold turkey. Never going back to it. Every game gets one go. That's literally it. You get one go. Update on Warframe. Quit forever. Uninstalled. Sent them a cease and desist letter to stop making it. I mean, I have no authority to, claim that, but just see what happens. They might answer it, you never know. Yeah. Just stopped forever. If I am not playing the game you want to see me play, at the moment you ask, I've quit. I got an email from a company, and they said, hi Josh, we have a job offer for you, but you need to sign a non-disclosure agreement first. And I responded, no thanks. I don't agree to do things before I know what I'm agreeing to do. I don't agree to look at information before I know what the information is. I'm not signing a non-disclosure agreement for a random undisclosed game. If you have something you want to talk to me about, that's fine. I'm happy to discuss it, but I'm not signing something before I know what it is. And then they responded to me, and their response email was, fantastic. We are advertising Warhammer Total War 3, and we would like you to be involved in a YouTuber game where a couple of bigger YouTubers play Warhammer Total War against each other, and you play as the factions, and you do an advert, and you do this, and you do that, and we're going to get some people involved, put it on your video, we'll share it on our socials. Would you want to play the new Warhammer game? I thought, I didn't sign the NDA. Did you not read my email? Did you just assume that I signed it and now you've told me everything that you would have told me anyway? And then a few minutes after that, I got another email saying, hey, I just want to update, can you please sign this NDA? And I thought, why? You've literally told me everything you were going to tell me if I'd have signed it, but I haven't signed it, and now you're panicking that you've told me all the information that I haven't signed it. Yeah, they wanted me to sign it. And then they sent the NDA, and now they want me to sign it again to cover their own arse for it. But I don't need to sign it. What would the advantage? And now I'm sharing the info with you. Yeah, the great thing is I can share the info with you because I am in no way bound to not. If people go, Josh, isn't it dangerous that you're sharing the info? Why? I didn't agree to not share it. I haven't agreed to not tell you. It's already out. It's already fine. They've got no legal, recourse to come back and say, Josh, you agreed not to do that. No, I didn't. You asked me not to do it. I didn't sign anything, and now you gave me all the information. If anything, this is on you. Yeah, the one who broke the NDA was the one that sent me the email. Oh, there's loads more. Mage, come in here, mate. You need to get away from there. We got ambushed, we did. There was an ambush. Can we close the door? Yes! Oh, no! Close the door. Thank you. No. Keep the door closed. Thank you very much. Nope. Not. Stop trying to open the door. Stop it. This is peak Dragon Age right here. Hodor. Hold the door. Hold the door. Okay? No. Hold the door. Stop it. Hold. This is exactly. Now we can attack. Oh, he wasn't expecting that, was he? Best fight mechanics ever. Door Simulator 2021. What if I'm doing what Asmongold says? Who should I follow? Right. Okay? Right. Asmongold is not always right. You know it. I know it. Everybody knows it. Except for the times that he is. He's not... Asmongold is wrong when he doesn't agree with what I agree with. However, when Asmongold agrees with what I think, he's spot on. When he says something that I personally disagree with, he deserves to be cancelled. When he says something that I personally agree with, he deserves to be heralded as a literal god. That's the way to do it. And if anyone tells you that I'm wrong, I'm telling you that they're wrong. And I beat them in the scale of importance.
Speaking about toxic, what do you think is the most toxic gaming community that you've tested? Because I know when you upload a video, you probably get a lot of comments that could be great. And then if you touch on some of those communities, they might not be so great.
The most amount of email threats I got was from Final Fantasy 14 fans.
Dang, all the
Final Fantasy, yeah, great game. Fantastic game.
That's fantastic.
This might just be a case of correlation not exactly equaling causation. Because Final Fantasy 14 is so bloody big, there are simply so many players of it, which means you're going to get a number of people who are slightly crazy within this community. So when I release a video on it and I get people emailing me terrible things, I'm not thinking, oh my God, the entire community is like this. I'm thinking, well, more people have seen this. Therefore, there are going to be a higher chance that weird people with nothing better to do have seen this. The only game that I tend to refuse to cover is EVE Online, just because I'm scared of the EVE Online community. Because if you're going to sit in front of a spreadsheet for like 8 hours a day, you can probably do whatever the hell you want. So I'm just going to leave that. I don't know if I could put enough time in to do a good, fair EVE review. But apart from that, it's mostly smaller communities that are they're not evil people. I think it's a combination of being sad and fed up that their game has died. So when I say, oh yeah, Mortal Online 1 isn't very good, I've very much upset both of those players. And when they decide to then email me and say, oh, you don't get it because this, it's perfect, it's this, it should be that instead. I think that is almost an outpouring of emotional upset that the game they have invested their time into didn't succeed the way they wanted it to. Yeah. And when we talk about toxicity within MMORPGs, we also need to think, at least consider, the idea that people play these games for a long time. They make them their life. I'm in a difficult position because I can't make one MMO my life if I want to cover all of them. I made an entire video about how it's difficult to cover lots of different MMOs. But when I make a video on a game, people don't understand that I'm not critiquing their life choices. I'm critiquing a product made by a company designed to create money. But people think I'm critiquing their life choices. And if I say, hey, you like this game and it's bad, what they hear is, you made the wrong life choice.
Yeah.
And that's much more emotional.
I mean, that's an MMO in a nutshell. It's an investment. Yeah. And, we're all getting older. Time's becoming more precious. The last thing you want to hear is some YouTuber who's barely played your game talking smack on it. And I could completely understand where that toxicity would come from and where feelings would be hurt. Nobody wants their time wasted or to feel like they've wasted their time on a game. I think we've all been very fortunate because we're playing old school, and up until this point and hopefully into the future, it's continued to thrive, it's doing well. I remember I saw something a little while back, and it was like the top 10 list of MMOs, and MMOs that are kind of like on a upward trajectory. And I think Old School RuneScape was one of like 3 games or something that was actually continuing to go up, which is just crazy considering how old it is, and you know, it's an ancient
And when
game.
someone spends a lot of their time doing anything, it becomes part of their life, part of their personality. And when someone comes along and questions this, especially someone that you don't believe is part of the in-group, because this goes back to the whole in-group, out-group thing. If someone from within, it's almost like you're allowed to hate the city that you're from, no one else is.
Yeah.
Like if you say, oh my God, yeah, that city, absolute crap, worst place in the world. And someone else says, yeah, that is crap. You're like, you shut up about my city. My city's great. You're allowed to hate something that you're invested in, but no one else is. And I think Old School RuneScape is one of the few communities where I've pointed out things and I've said, yeah, this is crap. And the community have kind of collectively gone, yeah, that's right. That's fair. And it's about finding the players who haven't made the success of the product part of their personality. You get the same thing with the console wars. You get people who are absolutely violently pro Xbox and violently pro PlayStation, and they make defending the multi-billion company a part of their personality. And if you say something bad about their favorite thing, you're wrong. Just be a gamer, like the games. We all make bad decisions and invest our time into the wrong thing. I bought an Ouya when it came out. I bought the Game Track system. I thought Runes of Magic was going to be bigger than World of Warcraft. We all make mistakes every now and again. I played RuneScape 3 for a bit. Right? We've all made some mistakes. It's very, very difficult to step back and say, okay, you know what, that choice I made wasn't necessarily the winning side of this debate. Now I can go and enjoy what something else is. But when you get people who have put so much of their time and so much of their energy into identifying with a certain subculture, and that subculture starts to fail or starts to fade away, they, if anything, redouble their efforts to explain their subculture is better, it's stronger. The in-group is smaller, but my God, it's then much more intense.
Please pause the game, need to make some coffee. Fair enough. It's a fair point. It's a valid request to make. It's okay. Elven Femboy, you go make some coffee. You let us know when you're back. We'll just chat for a bit. All right, so Elven Femboy has gone to make a bit of coffee. We're just going to have a bit of a chat while they go and do that. If you could try and, make it as quick as you can, that'd be great, but it's okay. We're in no major rush. I mean, let's be honest. What we're doing here isn't exactly... I was going to say it's not time sensitive. It is time crisis, but it's not time sensitive. We've got time to chat. I can catch up with you guys. So, yeah, how's life? No rush, friend. No rush at all. In fact, what we can do is we can save this game while we're doing that, and then we just wait for a bit. I'm in no rush. Now, this is a professional level streamer. Pauses the stream for fan to refill coffee. Hey, you guys have got busy lives. I understand that I'm only taking up a small portion of that, but I don't want to feel like I'm imposing. So, if you want to go and get yourself some coffee or a cup of tea, this is basically a tea break. It's okay. We're still paused. We are. Someone's getting coffee. As soon as Elven Femboy lets me know they're back with a cup of coffee, we'll carry on. Is Furcadia still a thing? Do you want to know a really sad fact? Furcadia is the longest running, still up MMORPG. Just let that sink in for a second. Furcadia, the longest running MMO. People are like, oh, but Tibia's still going. Furcadia. Still there, man. Still there. It's ridiculous. How are the furries this powerful? No one knew this. No one knew the furries were this powerful. And everyone uses it to go, oh, woo. They do. They frickin' do. Oh, man. Have I already played it? I played Flife. No, not Flife. I haven't played Flife, I haven't played Mabinogi, and I haven't played Windcraft. Because everyone gets on to me. I get messages every single day. Hey, Josh, have you played Mabinogi? Have you played Flife? Have you played a Windcraft or Winecraft or however you want to pronounce it? Just a ridiculous amount of messages. Weekend nights watching streams, busy life. It's busy life, man. We'll wait. We'll wait for Elven Fanboy to get their coffee. See, don't say I never do anything for you. This is what I do for you. But have I played Lost Ark? I'm back. What did I miss? Nothing yet. Nothing yet. We're just waiting for Elven. He's just getting a cup of coffee. It's all right. Have I played the weird MMO V4? Not yet. Okay, it's on there. Which MMOs am I currently playing for fun? I don't have fun anymore. Fun is a concept I've long left behind. I remember what fun used to be. I remember that fun was before we all discovered wikis and before we all discovered, the meta. That's what it is. It's ridiculous. You know what? Guild Wars 2 is still pretty fun, to be fair. I will say that the MMOs that I play for fun are the MMOs that I don't feel I need to play as a job. When I can play something for a bit, have an enjoyable experience, log off, go and live real life for 3 or 4 months, log back on, and then be totally okay, that's when I know that I'm doing pretty good. That's when I'm happy with it. I'm like, yeah, this is good. So the fact that I can do that with Guild Wars 1, I can do it with Guild Wars 2, I can do it with old school RuneScape, I can do it to an extent with the Elder Scrolls Online. When you can log off and then come back to the game and you're still good. I don't like to think that the game is progressing and I'm progressing, and if I stop, the game carries on without me, so when I come back, I've got to catch up. I like it that when I stop, the game kind of is like, yeah, we'll wait for you. We'll hang out with you for a bit, yeah? And then we'll just chill. With ESO, I feel there's a lot of content with every single expansion that I miss. Just a hell of a lot. Like with Final Fantasy XIV, if you don't want to keep pushing the progression raids, you're totally okay to do that. I ain't a fan of Animal Crossing. The whole Animal Crossing was too real for me. Getting a mortgage to get a house, too real, man. I play games to escape from that. I play games to leave that. People love video games because they give you what you're never going to have in real life. An amazing, fantastical adventure. An epic space sci-fi journey. A paid-off mortgage. These are the things that video games can give you that you know you're never going to have. That's what it is. Serious to God, Animal Crossing, when it said, you have paid off your house, I'm like, oh, video games. Oh, what will you think of next? What crazy shit will you make me do? Oh, this is why I love it. It's funny. Oh, it's funny, but it hurts. It does hurt. Right, what a time to be alive. Is Elven back yet? It's okay if they're not. We've only been waiting for a couple of minutes. It's fine. I mean, Time Crisis, this is a bad game. No, this is a lovely game. Fanboy must be grinding fresh beans for the coffee. They've actually travelled all the way to Colombia just to specifically get the coffee beans. They're going to grind them. They're going to grow them. They've started a brand new life. Evening. Good evening. Welcome. We're just waiting for Elven to... a couple of minutes ago, a viewer, Elven Fanboy, said, hey, I'm just going to get coffee. He's back. Are you back, Elven? He's back. Thanks for waiting. Not a problem. Right, we'll carry on. Here we go. Ooh, dodge that attack. Goodness me. Quick save again. You know what? He was polite, wasn't he? He's like, hey, I'm just going to get coffee. Would you mind if you wait? Of course I wouldn't mind, mate. If I was hanging out with someone in real life and they were like, hey, I want to watch you play this game, but I want to get a drink. Do you mind if I have 5 minutes to get a drink? Of course I don't mind if you have 5 minutes to get a drink. It's absolutely fine. Doesn't bother me at all. See? We've cleared the area. It's not like we were waiting for much, was it? Done. Wait, Josh, I ran out of tea and the Queen is coming over. Not a problem. We'll pause. Although I'm going to be honest, I think you're taking the piss. I think you are lying to me. I don't think that the Queen's coming over at all. And I'll tell you why. It's because I happen to be good friends with old Lizzie. Lizzie McLizerson. Lisbeth, as we call her. Lovely woman. Go bowling every Tuesday. Lovely person. I know her schedule. On Saturday nights, you know what she's doing? She's sat at home in a massive, tall 4-poster bed watching me. She's got me on the main screen. I'm kidding. I know that I'm on the second monitor. I've come to accept that.
You seem like you enjoyed Lord of the Rings Online. Yeah, I thought it was great. Oh my God, I read something that made me angry, like actually angry. And it was said by an Amazon executive, so obviously it made me angry. There are some people out there who are clearly not video game fans. They have the money and the power to make them. They're producers, they own the companies, but they clearly don't get how games work. So Amazon Games Studios is making a new Lord of the Rings MMORPG. And most likely based in the Rings of Power universe, because that's pretty much just what they own. But there is a new Lord of the Rings game, online MMO, being made by Amazon Game Studios. So I tweeted out, finally, Lord of the Rings Online. Which was, of course, a joke, because Lord of the Rings Online, currently run by Standing Stone Games, has been around for like 15 years. It's a very old MMORPG. It's a very successful MMO. It's still going. And I read an interview with the guy that's kind of, executive, top level within Amazon Game Studios, who's talking about the new Lord of the Rings MMO, the one they're making. And he said that it's going to be a fundamentally different experience to Lord of the Rings Online. I thought, okay, that's fair enough. It's going to kind of have to be. It might not be a tab target game. It might not be an action game. It might be a different style game. It might be more closer to New World. Okay, that's fine. And then the interviewer said, what do you think about people who are already deeply invested in Lord of the Rings Online? And this executive dude said, well, I expect that they'll all just move over. You just expect people who have put years of their life, thousands of hours of stuff into Lord of the Rings Online will just be like, all right, lads, pack it up. There's a new Lord of the Rings MMO in town. Let's all move over to that. No. Because people don't always play the game for the gameplay. Sometimes they play it for the community, the sunk cost fallacy, the general ambience, the graphics. There's a lot of stuff that keeps people playing, but you can't just expect to make a new game and have your entire community move over, because historically, that's not gone great. Remember when old school RuneScape became RuneScape 3 and everyone moved over, except they didn't, everyone played the old version still? Or when MapleStory became MapleStory 2 and everyone moved over, except they didn't, and MapleStory 2 shut down? Or EverQuest became EverQuest 2 and everyone moved over, except they didn't, and now EverQuest 2 is on life support and EverQuest 1 is still getting expansions? Or when, Warcraft did all of its stuff and then no one played the old versions, apart from the fact that they did, which is why they had to release Classic. There's many examples out there of MMORPGs releasing sequels or releasing different versions of themselves and everyone going, no, I like the original. And that's totally okay. Guild Wars 2 is a good example of doing it well both ways. Guild Wars 2 is fundamentally different from Guild Wars 1, but Guild Wars 1 is still very much supported. What irritated me about this executive's attitude was he didn't say, we are going to keep supporting Lord of the Rings Online. He didn't say, oh, the people that love Lord of the Rings Online, we love them, we love their passion, we love their ability to enjoy the game, that's not going anywhere, we're providing a separate experience. He said, I expect them to move over. Which made Standing Stone Games, the people who are currently pretty much in charge of Lord of the Rings Online, say, or put out a statement effectively saying, we're not going anywhere. We're going to stay here. We're still here. Like the Ents, we will endure. The road goes ever on. And I thought, you know what, Standing Stone Games, I might disagree with some of your monetization policies, but I agree with the fact that you're standing by the players. Well done. I get that. They refuse to die. I might not always agree with how you're charging people, but the fact that you've made sure to say to people, hey, we ain't going anywhere, I like that. So Amazon Game Studios annoyed me because their executives showed a fundamental misunderstanding of who play MMOs and why they play them, and their attachment, their beautiful, deep, powerful attachment to a game or a community that they have played for so long. It irritated me very, very much. Hey, there's a newer RuneScape. Why aren't you playing it, loser? That's what they thought about it. Oh my god, you're playing Warcraft Classic? Why are you playing a classic game, loser? Why aren't you playing the cool game with everyone else? That's it. That's the energy that it's got. That's very much the energy that it's approaching people with. It's like if you say to someone, hey, look, I love Warhammer, but more than 40k, I love Warhammer Fantasy. That was the Empire, Bretonia, the Tomb Kings, the Skaven, that kind of stuff. The old square bases. And that's coming back in the form of the old world. I very much am very, very excited about that. But when when Warhammer Fantasy Battles became Age of Sigmar, and the entirety of, Games Workshop went, oh, don't worry, all of the Warhammer Fantasy people, they'll just play Age of Sigmar. No, we didn't. That kind of sucked. Instead, we just carried on playing Warhammer Fantasy Battles using books that already existed. Your MDK video brought a tear to my brother's eye. Hey, MDK was a good game. I enjoyed that. But as far as what should I play next, I mean, I want to redo Breath of Fire games. I want to redo the Lufia games, the original kind of Final Fantasies 1 through 6. Things like Clock Tower, Vagrant Story, things like Parasite Eve. These old RPGs that just take a long time to do. But someone has said, hey, will you do The Simpsons Hit and Run? Will you do Soul Reaver 2? Without a doubt. Will I replay The Bouncer again? Yeah. I think Soul Reaver was my favourite one to ever do, and if ever anyone gave me an absolute ton of money, then I would probably go to Netflix and be like, hey, let's make a Soul Reaver TV show, but let's make it really good. You know, let's do it kind of like Arcane. Let's make it worth it. Let's not do it like not Arcane. Glorious chest hair, thank you. I understand that's what most people here want, so I'm going for it. Not on Netflix. No, let's do Amazon Prime. They're normally more chilled. Yeah, the but is the problem. Soul Reaver featuring Henry Cavill as Kane. I could get behind that. Yeah, you can't really replace Tony Jay as the voice. Voice is badass. Do I watch Mandalore Gaming? I do indeed. In fact, I hate Mandalore Gaming because he put out a video recently on a game called Myth, The Fallen Lords, which was on my list of games to replay recently. And now if I put out a video on Myth, The Fallen Lords, people are going to be like, oh, you just copied Mandalore Gaming. No, I played it when I was a kid, and then he just got in there first. So what I've got to do is just wait a year until everyone's forgotten about it, and then put out a video, and then expect the comments of, oh, Mandalore Gaming did this first. Yes, he did. God damn it. God damn you, Mandalore, for making good videos on games people like. How dare you? How dare. Etiquette. That's what it should have been. I'm still personally offended that every single YouTuber doesn't check with me first before they put a video out, but we live in a world that just doesn't respect me. Read the screen. You have the tools needed to have an irredeemable adventure. And if you don't have an irredeemable adventure, that's your own fault. And the reason it says irredeemable is because I edit using Shotcut, and Shotcut does not have inbuilt spell check, and I type way too fast to spell check myself. That's the reason. You didn't have a good time years ago because the game gave you everything. Quite the opposite. And what I should have said was, you had a good time because you gave the game everything. That would have been so much better in this video. That would have worked. The game didn't give you everything. You gave the game everything. You gave it your time. You gave it your love. You gave it your guild, your community, your clan, your passion. You gave it your attention. You gave it the best years of your life. And in return, it gave you a decent adventure. And now, a lot of people don't give the game what the game needs. Unfortunately, you do sometimes need to give a game a chance. I have a friend who started playing Baldur's Gate 1, 2, and 3, and they were like, oh yeah, I didn't get into it. It wasn't very good after the first hour. I'm like, okay, what'd you do? I just ran around, died a lot. Did you read your spells? No. You talk to NPCs? No. Did you do anything that would add energy from you to the game? No. Oh, all right, cool. I can see why this is not working for you then. That's absolutely fine. And if they didn't enjoy that, that's okay. But there is a back and forth. I think there is a back and forth between you and the game. There is an understanding that at some point you need to put energy in order to get something out. And most people want to be passive consumers. Maybe this is what it is. Maybe because we're all jaded MMO vets, because we've seen films and we've seen TV shows and we've read books, and because nothing is novel to us anymore, we now sit here and we want to be passive kind of consumers of fun instead of active participants in the process. Does anyone else feel that? Does anyone feel that you've got to a point now where you know you're not putting as much energy in. You know that you're not engaging as much because you've not got as much free time. You've not got as much energy. You don't need to engage because Wikipedia will tell you what to do. You don't need to read because a YouTube guide will tell you what to do. You don't need to talk because GroupFinder will do it for you. You have no reason to engage with an MMO beyond a surface level connection, and then you wonder why you have a surface level connection. You engage as little as you need to, and then you wonder why you're not getting back what you had when you engaged more. Sucks, but at some point, you very much do need to say, right, I'm going to connect with this. Will I play Baldur's Gate 3 on stream? No, because I want to enjoy it.
New World is like the opposite of an MMO because it gets bad after 100 hours. You know when people say to you, oh, you've got to play the game, it gets good like 100 hours in. New World does the opposite. Like, if you play Final Fantasy XIV for 100 hours, you sit back and you go, I get it now. I understand why people like it. You play New World for 100 hours, you sit back and you're like, why are people still playing this? You say on Terra, so trash. Oh no. You nearly made me say the bad word, Mr. Serras. You clearly have feelings and opinions. I want you to know that I respect you and I want to listen to them. So you've got the floor. Come on. Tell me what I said about Terra. What was bad with it? I love it when people who hate me come in, because I know for the next 10 minutes my content is just now sorted. I play 11 years. Terra amazing. Whenever a troll comes in, they always type in all caps, which makes their messages very easy to pick out. I see. I mean, yeah, if you enjoyed Terra and you've spent 11 years in there, okay, cool. Great. Did you have fun? I played Neverwinter for like 5 years. I had fun. It's a bad game, but I had fun. If I say your game is not as good as it could be, I'm not saying that you didn't have fun. I'm not invalidating your experience. And if you watched any of my videos, you would literally hear me say that repeatedly. But, hey, it's okay. It's okay. If we want to keep discussing that kind of stuff, we can keep discussing that kind of stuff. Let's see. What was I wrong about it? I'm a WoW player. Yeah, time you enjoyed wasting is not wasted time. If you had fun and you enjoyed it, that is some good stuff going on right there. I like your vids, but old games speak, look bad, quest bad, yes, but what players can do, no thanks. Okay, Serras, you're going to have to give me a second because I'm good, but you're just going to have to let me just undecode this. Hang on. Yes, I like your vid. We're on the same page so far. I appreciate that. But on old game, as in Terror is an old game, okay. Speak, look bad, quest bad, yes. But what players can do, no thinks. I completely agree. What you're saying is, yes, the game is bad, and yes, the questing system is bad, and yes, everything that isn't combat is bad, but, you know, what can you do? What can you do? You make a video about it, saying everything apart from the combat's bad. And then the game company will look at it and go, oh, damn, everything apart from the combat is bad. Maybe we should improve the other stuff. Or you could just... You could just not play Terror. Like, you could play another game. You don't need to only play one game. You could play another one. And then you can come back to Terror later. How? I mean, Steam... Do you think Terra is the only game in the world? Like, you just download another game. I played Terra 11 years. Her amazing. Okay, so cool. Keep playing Terra while playing another game. I've eaten pizza for many years. I have a burger every now and again. Sometimes even a curry. Who knows? You could just play another game. Am I still playing Warframe off stream? I mean, not literally right now, but in general, yes. You can play other games. I play Warframe. Okay, cool. So, Serras, what did you disagree with in my video? What did you watch me say about Terra and think, oh, he's wrong there? What was wrong about my video? What did I categorically say that was wrong? Because, like, if you can tell me exactly what I said that was wrong, I will be able to look into it and apologise for it. Sorry, I can't write good. Hey, that's fine. Sarah's, I cannot write any other language. Okay? So you do not need to... No one should ever apologise for not speaking a second language very well. Because I guarantee you are already way ahead of most other people. It's like, if someone says, sorry, I don't speak this second language very well, the fact you speak a second language at all is super impressive. So never apologise for not being fluent at a second language, because I'm not fluent at a second language at all. But I killed Terra. Sarah, did you watch the video? Like, did you actually watch the video, genuinely? Because if you watched the video, what you will have heard is me explain that I like Terra, I like the combat, and I like the situations you can get into, but I don't like the fact that the choices they have made have killed the game. You need to understand, I didn't kill Terra because I don't develop Terra. What I have done is reported on what the developer has done. And if you're upset about that, that's not my fault for telling you. It's the developer's fault for doing it. Don't get sad or angry or annoyed at the person who tells you what's happening. You need to get sad and annoyed at the people who make the decisions. Now, in this case, yes, I did go into the Terra office and press the big make shit button. It was really good up until I did that. So my bad on that one, okay? Totally understand. Sorry, and for me, I like with the game. Yeah.
That's what Balin stands for.
Okay, I like the game as well. Do you not understand that we both like the game? Do you think me releasing that video killed Terra? Do you think my video damaged Terra? Do you think me telling people how the game is... Okay, Sarah's, how? How did my video damage Terra? What did I do that hurt Terra? Because if your only answer is, I showed people the game, what does that tell you about the game? If you think I can damage a game by showing people the game, maybe the problem is the game. I'm sorry that Terra died in 2014. So, okay. Like, I wasn't doing anything in 2014. How are you blaming me for killing a game back in 2014 when I wasn't doing anything? In fact, no, I'm pretty sure back in 2014 I made the should you play Terra video and the answer was yes. Like, I killed the game that died. I'm going to be real, guys. I did not know I had this kind of power. Although, to be fair, I played Defiance 2050, then that shut down. Then I played Life is Feudal, then that shut down. Then I played Secondhand Lands, then that shut down. Then I played Terra, and apparently I've killed it. Mortal Online 1, that's going to be shutting down soon. Yeah, you know that meme of the Grim Reaper going into various doors? It's just, that's me, and every previous door is a game that I've played. I'm very sorry. Goodbye, New World. Can you imagine? Can you imagine if New World dies, the amount of people that are going to come and attack me with stuff? Thank you. Just one thing. Literally one thing. I just said, could you please bring me a glass of Pepsi or something to drink? We have glasses. We have a cupboard full of glasses. Just regular glasses, tall glasses, glasses with nothing on them. Okay. No, you're here now. Fine. It's one of those novelty mugs that curves, the lip is curved so far inside that the only way I can drink from it is by sticking my entire face into it.
I can change it.
No. No, you're going to live with what you've done.
I can live with what I've done.
You're going to just... Fine. I'll deal with it.
It's a great mug.
Is there an NFT for that? Yeah, someone can sell the NFT of that mug. That'd be fine. Wouldn't bother me whatsoever.
But first, you'll need to pick a class. So let's talk about support gems. So speaking of builds, let's talk about one of the most iconic Path of Exile systems, the passive skill tree. Yes, it's huge. There are over 1,500 nodes on there. Now, a lot of people open the tree and can get a little intimidated at first, but try not to be scared. There are lots of options, but at its core, it's pretty simple. As we showed you earlier on the Sorceress, you can swap between weapon sets on the fly as you use certain skills. Now, we haven't even talked about the most important element of character progression, items. The last character progression system that you can do during the campaign is Ascension. Ascension in Path of Exile 2 requires completion of one of the Great Trials, which you'll find as you progress through the campaign.
Ritual altars are sacrificial sites built by the mysterious King in the Mists. If you encounter this symbol on the atlas, then you know that the area contains ritual altars. Some maps have been touched by insanity. A mysterious entity has taken a special interest in you. Step through the looking glass and you will find your nightmares coming to life. When you touch a mirror, the mists of delirium will spread out across the area, infecting your mind. You must stay within the mist to maintain the nightmare, which is as profitable as it is terrifying. Everything you kill will increase the rewards that drop. However, the deeper into the mist you travel...
If you've never played Path of Exile before, you need to understand that grinding gear games do not know how to stop making a game.
Distilled emotions can also be used to instill your in-game maps, applying Delirious to them and adding additional difficulty and rewards, allowing you to further juice your in-game maps. The tablets you can find from Deliria can be used to further improve it, increase pack size, make the fog dissipate slower, or improve your progress towards the pinnacle.
I think Grinding Gear Games heard players complaining that games didn't launch with endgame content, and they took that very personally.
Next up, we have Expedition. Occasionally, while clearing corruption, you will encounter these Kalguran settlers. The Kalgurans have discovered ancient burial sites with lost Verisium artifacts, and they want you to help dig them up with explosives. The Kalgurans have marked the locations where the relics can be found. Place explosives as best you can to dig up as many as possible. There is just...
This is why the game isn't out yet! Stop making it! You've finished!
To do a little cleanup before you can reclaim the artifacts. So those are the in-game systems on the Atlas, but we are not done yet. The trials we talked about earlier have much more content when you get to endgame 2. Just like the other endgame systems, they also have progression mechanics, unique rewards, and player power that can only be gained from them. As you get higher level coins for the Trial of the Sycamores, you will unlock more floors to explore. Each floor has its own challenging rooms and a floor boss that you will need to kill.
What's your favorite part of Path of Exile 2? I don't know!
Had enough yet? Because there is still just one more thing. The most difficult content in Path of Exile 2. While mapping, you might come across this fortress that has emerged from underground, surrounded by an enormous maze riddled with danger. Is the maze preventing something from getting in, or something getting out? This fortress is of ancient origin, and its construction has similarities to the towers and tablets that you have been using on your journey through the endgame. It is clear from the entrance that there are 3 keys required to enter. Local factions are vying for access to the fortress in order to seize the power they believe will be inside. Each of the faction's leaders have managed to get their hands on one of the keys, so you will need to defeat them.
You know what's inside? More systems!
You can see one of them inhabiting the city, but in order to fight him, you will first need to defeat their 2 lieutenants in the adjacent zones.
Just give me the game!
Be careful. If you fail against either of the lieutenants, or to kill the leader, they will move on, and you will need to find them again. Kill all the Uber bosses and you will gain access to the fortress.
So these are your challenges for PoE 2. As you can see, this project is crazy huge. Way bigger than even we expected when we started out. But how do you gain access? Well, during early access you'll need a key to get in. To thank our existing PoE supporters who have spent more than $480, we'll be giving you guys a key for the PC version for free. Anyone else who wants one can get one by purchasing one of the new early access supporter packs that have just been released to the store. If you just want early access to PoE 2, then you can get a key in the $30 early access pack. The pack also comes with $30 of points to spend in the MTX store. But we also have a variety of other supporter packs filled with exclusive microtransactions, points to spend in the store, and even physical items. The cosmetics can be used right now in PoE 1 and in Path of Exile 2 when early access starts. Most of this footage has been recorded in Path of Exile 1, since that's where you can use them immediately.
For those of you who haven't played Path of Exile 1, I wouldn't say that it's pay to win. You can definitely gain an advantage by having more bank slots, but you can complete all of the main game up to endgame without needing to pay anything. and they're one of the few games and the few companies that I would feel completely justified giving money to based on the amount of hours I played the game for.
Also
Do remember, if this is intimidating you, you don't need any of this. I've played for hundreds of hours, and I think I've spent 20 quid, if that, to get some bank expansions. But you didn't even need those. I was just lazy and didn't want to throw things away. So all of these cosmetics, all these overrides, they're not mechanical advantages. You won't need them. You can play this game for hundreds of hours. If it was genuinely pay to win, it would have died years ago. People get annoyed at me that I defend Path of Exile for the way that it monetizes itself, but I think it's the most fair way of doing it while still paying back the massive cost it took to make it. Consider it like this. If you don't need a bank expansion until you've played the game for 50 or 60 hours, how much would you have paid to get a 50 or 60 hour game? I completely agree that to most people, a $480 early supporter pack is too much. Don't buy it. You don't need to. If you have that cash spare and you want to buy it, great, go for it. But you absolutely don't need it. I would say that a fair price for this game would at least be £40 to £60, which would probably be $50 to $70. If after playing it for 100 hours, you want an extra bank or you want some cosmetics, I think that's a fair amount of money to ask for the game that it's given you. That's a lot of game. The reason it's not released yet is because they had to stop them adding features.
Open the passive skill screen. Spend your passive skill point. You gain a skill point. Press P or click on this one. Oh, this is the moment everyone stops playing, isn't it? Yeah, this is the moment when you all look and go, you know what? I'm good. Okay, right. What difficulty am I on? I totally forgot what I put this on last time I played it. Master. You know what? Fuck it. Let's do it. Let's play Master Difficulty Skyrim. How hard can it be? Shut up. Hang on. I'm being a hunter. So far, I've managed to hit every tree in the forest. Unfortunately, that's now on camera forever. Take care of yourself. Good night. Normally I say good night and God bless, because that's what my grandmum used to say to me when I was a kid, and when I was going to sleep, she always go, Josh, good night, God bless, and it stuck with me. But now I think it's going to have to be good night, God bless, and Guild Wars. That might need to be a new thing. Anyway, thanks for your time. Take care of yourself.
I saw the message in the chat about MapleStory. What happened with that? It was very simple. So whenever a company contact me and ask me to make a sponsored video, I explain to them that making a sponsored video is a risk for me, because audience trust is a currency. You build it up by doing things that show you are trustable, and you spend it if you need to do things that are risky or people won't like. Everyone supports the underdog up until the underdog becomes successful. Then most people don't continue to support you. I had a lot of people, and still have a lot of people, that support me making the videos that I enjoy. But once I found the level of success, they no longer supported that. So when companies contact me and say, hey, make a sponsored video, I have to weigh up the benefit that I would gain from the video against the amount of audience trust I would lose from making the video. And the truth is, I don't want to lose any audience trust from making any videos, because to me, if I say something and people immediately turn around and go, I don't believe you, then what's the point of me making videos at all? At that point, I'm just making it to generate income, instead of making it because I believe I have something relevant or important or funny to say. So when I was contacted by a company who represented Nexon to make, it wasn't Nexon, you never deal directly with the companies. That's a lie. You very rarely deal directly with the companies. I have only dealt with a couple of companies directly. Jagex for RuneScape, they're lovely to work with. ArenaNet for Guild Wars 2, they were great to work with. And Albion Online, they were good to work with as well. And NordVPN and GamerSubs, they were also cool to work with. GamerSubs, I still work with because I like the product. But when I was contacted by a company representing Nexon who asked me to make a review of MapleStory, I said, The only way this is going to work is if I put it in the worst MMO ever series and you effectively sponsor your own episode, which is what Albion Online did. And I had genuinely made the episode before Albion came to me with the sponsorship. So I said, hey, I'm just going to effectively take your money, change nothing, and say you sponsored it. And they went, okay, do that, which was fine. But the company representing MapleStory and Nexon turned around and said, no, we don't want you to do that. We want you to make a video that's positive and reviewing it and basically saying, should you play MapleStory? And I said, well, I don't really have a series that would fit into. I have the worst MMO ever series, and I have a couple of series of 100-hour ever, but I don't feel that that video is representative of my content. And they turned around and they went, okay, fine, put it in the worst MMO ever thing, but you have to send us a review copy of the video. So I've made the video. I thought it was fair. I thought it was funny. And I sent it to them to review. And I got a response. And they said, hey, Josh, the way you've played the game is not the way we would anticipate a new player to play the game. Could you please re-edit your video to make it look like you did something first that you actually did second, which would have made your experience smoother? And I responded to them saying, I don't know if you know this, but I actually read every single line of a contract that I get sent. I am fastidious with contracts. And one of the clauses in your contract is that neither of us in this exchange would do something that affects the integrity of the other. It's actually a clause in a contract. I literally pointed out to them with the line and spacing. And I'm saying, what you're asking me to do right now is alter my review to present an unreal version of events, which would be damaging to my integrity because I am no longer showing the audience the experience that I had. I'm showing them the experience that you hoped I would have. Now, the truth is that I actually said a hell of a lot of good stuff about MapleStory. The music in that game is incredible. It's really good. I played the Kane storyline, which is like this really edgy edgelord. And the storyline is, and it's freaking brilliant, genuinely. You are this low-level assassin working for a kind of shady government organization. And what they do is, in the storyline, you have your memories taken away from you and held. And only when you have paid off your debts to the government do you get your memories back. And the whole interesting plot line was, once you've paid off your debt, what's to stop them just wiping your memory of knowing that you've done that and demanding that you work for them more? And the whole opening plot was you breaking into a government facility and discovering that there's been this memory theft. And you've been working for them for years and years and years and years and years, having paid off your debt multiple times, and they keep lying to you. It's people saying, what game is this? It is the opening of the Kane story in MapleStory. Anyway, I really liked it. And then you leave the opening and you go into the general game of MapleStory, and it got a bit more overwhelming to me. The cash shop was a bit egregious. The music keeps being good. The opening sections are a bit more difficult than they need to be. It was fun. It was good. It was a sci-fi story. But Kane is not meant to be the character you start as. It's meant to be a more high-level character. Now, there's nothing to stop a new player choosing Kane. I was a new player. I chose Kane. It was difficult. I struggled, but I loved it. And that's when I said, hey, the Kane's tutorial does not cover a lot of the basics that a player is expected to know. And their argument was, Kane will not be the first character someone chooses. And my argument was, I was the new player, I chose Kane. This can happen, this is going to happen. If anything, take my feedback and use it to improve the game. But they went back and forth, and eventually they said, look, Josh, if you do not re-edit your video to make it look like something different, we will not pay you. And I responded, that's absolutely fine. I will not re-edit the video. I'm sorry we couldn't make this work. I'll move on. Then I contacted, because I was proud of the video I'd made. Then I contacted the people that I was working with. Now, you have to remember that agencies take a cut of the money that they bring in. So a company pays an agency some money, the agency pay the content creator, but the agency keeps a small amount of cash. If that transaction never happens, the agency have nothing to keep. So I had no direct contact with Nexon, but what I did was I actually contacted... Let me turn this background music down. There we go. I actually contacted the agency. Now, the agency have nothing to gain from me releasing the video without being paid, because then Nexon isn't paying them. They're getting nothing. But I contacted the agency and I said, look, I need you to ask your legal team something. What would happen if I just released this video anyway? Because I was proud of it. I know it's going to be an advert for MapleStory regardless, but because, you know, people see my video, go and play the game. What would happen if I just released it? And they responded saying, hey, the content that you have created in the process of making this video was created for us as part of our agreement. If you release it now, that is against contract. And I checked, and the contract did say that media paid for would be not, it's a general contract thing, it's not owned by them, but I can't release it and then take it down. That's actually a general way to do it. But they basically said, no, you can't release this video. And I'm going to be honest, I didn't want to get into a legal battle with them, so I just didn't. So the reason that we don't have a MapleStory video is the agency, and I think they were acting on advice from Nexon, were not happy that my video presented their game in a way that they felt was untrue, that ironically was 100% true, and so I wasn't allowed to then release it. If I make a video on MapleStory, it will be in the future, but I will have to remake the video, which is a shame because I think it was actually a very praise-heavy video.
Let me get a bound bow out, because bound bows are cool. And I want to watch my archery skills. Watch me take down this sheep. Fuck you, sheep. It did a cinematic thing and everything. I was like, that's going to be amazing. I can't believe I actually hit that. Todd Howard is watching this stream. He did that on purpose. I can't believe that it actually did the cinematic thing, and then it was like, no.
Some of you don't understand how big this game is. Let me just explain this to you. All of these little segments of the map, not just the red flashing one, we can travel to. And they are all individual segments with huge amounts of adventure within them. And all the little dots are either towns or temples or churches or things. You see this little island just here called Bethany? This island. That island is bigger than all of Skyrim, the game. If you overlaid the maps of these games, all of Skyrim would fit on that. And if you don't believe me, you can go and Google this. Daggerfall used to be a Guinness World Record holder. The world of Daggerfall is just slightly smaller than Great Britain. It was procedurally generated, yes. When you reach a town, the exact layout of the buildings is different. That's procedurally generated. Now, what you can do is you can choose to manually travel to places. Do you want to see what that looks like? All right. I'm going to save the game. Let me show you what manually traveling to a place looks like. If we open the map, we're there. Let's travel to this town to the right. A place called Charlie. Shall we? I'm going to click there. And then you can choose to fast travel camp out. When we click begin, we will begin running to that place. Here we go. We are currently running at 30 times speed.
If I slow it down slightly so it loads, you'll see the speed we're actually going at. If we were to run this at normal speed, the game just told me it would take 4 hours to do. Remember, that is moving from... We have to move to the left to go around this mountain. Slow it down slightly because we're loading so much stuff. Okay, so you know where we started on the map, remember? That was from there to there. In one, and this green section, this isn't the game. This is one section of the game. Just that section. Daggerfall is huge.